Just take a breath and take it deep to show the world that you can see a life that's full of wonder, but it will never be enough. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't.
Do you struggle to rank up in Rocket League? Are you stuck in Diamond while your other friends flex their SSL title? Well, look no further. I have partnered up with LTXAcademy as a coach, and we are ready to boost your gameplay. With multiple tournaments and trophies won and thousands of dollars earned, I will tailor to your needs and make sure you get to that next level. I'm also doing discounted prices for the first 10 days, so you do not want to miss out. And you are also probably thinking,
CMOS, how do I book a session with you?
well, that's easy. Just open up that fancy browser of yours, type medify.gg/@cmasorl_, pick a session to your liking, book a time, and bang, you're booked, and I'll see you in the call. Once again, that's medify.gg/@cmasorl_.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
I'm the storm that beats the moon. I'm the silent world that mourns. Who you think you are? Who you think you
Welcome everyone. It's a great night tonight. Sunday night rival Rocket League from RSC. Of course, it's me, Gaz, joined by Field here. Of course, produced by Shattered. By Shattered. But I don't know why you're showing Dunk, but yeah, produced by Shattered. And yeah, we have a great night ahead of us. Like a lot of games. What do you think about tonight, Field?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how tonight pans out. Who's gonna take the trophy? Obviously, we had some interruptions last night from Rocket League servers. Let's hope that doesn't repeat itself here today. But yeah, look, this is the bracket we have here. Starting off, I'm pretty sure here on the main stream we have Vortex versus 20 Rocketeers.
No,
Not
it's
the
the
main
other one.
stream.
The other one.
Oh, other way around, sorry.
Yeah.
We have Caligo versus Continuum. On the other stream, you can find Vortex versus 20 Rocketeers. And, well, if you want to follow one of the lower bracket games that's going on right now, Tizek Kal's Journeyman Shinjiro, you will have to find the RSC Discord and join the chat where there's two mad chatmates streaming those games. So yeah, you can pick your poison, which stream you want to watch, which game you want to follow along with. But for now, we have Caligo Continuum here, and that's a great matchup, guys. Let me hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I've done a bit of research on both teams. I mean, I'm not really familiar with the tier, although I do know Ethan on DSQ, who is also an AGM for them, so he would definitely be looking to get this trophy for his org. I've seen, knowing that this is like the upper brackets, I did see that Caligo, DSQ, they did finish first in the conference, but Momentum did finish third, won their last round, which was on Thursday, if I'm not wrong, Thursday or Friday, one of them. So when I checked the records of both teams against each other, it's the head-to-head that counts. How they face well against each other. And the first time that they faced, they ended up drawing. While the second time, DSQ ended up winning 3-1. So it really shows that it's really close. And DSQ finished first with like 3 wins away from Momentum. So it's like really close from both teams. And depending on who's entering better on the day, because the last time that they've played against each other was like 3 weeks ago, which is a long time ago, of course. Maybe Momentum haven't played on Friday or Thursday, able to come into this with a better mindset, with more confidence.
Yeah, indeed. So I think we just do predictions here, no? I think we just want to move along. But even if we don't, let's just get them out the way here, guys. Who do you think is gonna take the one here?
Yeah, I think Momentum have been doing very well across all tiers. I think they're very good org, very round org. I'm just not really familiar with the rival tier, of course. But I'm confident in the management of Dispatch and Flossie. So I will be going with a continuum win here. I'll be going with a cheeky game 7 win. Game 5. It's game 5. It's best of 5, right? Yeah, it's best of 5.
Yeah, it is best of 5. Yeah. I have Continuum going all the way, taking it in the end. So I have to back them here. I'm gonna say 3-1 to Continuum. Even if it means we have both casters on the same side. I have to back my caster predictions going into this, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and how have you been feeling about like the recent Rocket League server issues that's been going on since yesterday?
I mean, you can't even just say it since yesterday. I feel like server-related problems have started appearing like a year ago, and it's just gotten worse and worse. And obviously, we have this happening yesterday and today. I don't know. It's not the best.
Yeah,
I would like to see the game emerge.
I mean, I even heard that we had to delay the grand finals game from the Challenger tier yesterday, which is of course very sad. Considering that they already warmed up both teams, they're heading into this with like full momentum to try and get a trophy, and they're waiting for like 1 hour for service to be back up, and just to hear that they have to delay it, it's really annoying.
Yeah. If there's anything we don't like here, it's delays on the stream. We would like to give you the best experience watching, and of course that would entail us having the game start pretty much on time or as close to on time as possible. And well, it seems like there's problems as well here today to start off with. So of course we can't make that happen from the looks of things, but we hope we can get back to it as fast as possible. But in the meantime, we do have some team statistics on the two teams here. Of course, Caligo finishing first in their side of the conference with 43 wins and 29 losses. A goal record of 169 for and 128 against. And saves and demos, they have a few less saves than Continuum, but pretty even statistic there. Continuum on the other side, they finished third with 40 wins. And the big takeaway here is they have a bit more goals, but they have a lot more goals scored on them, and surely that's the big difference here.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this, you can think like, I mean, looking at the save numbers, the goals against numbers, you can really consider like there may be a really fast-paced team, like who cares about defense? We're going offense, straight offense, attack, you get beat. It's allowing a lot of shots and opportunities for the other team to score. So maybe Caligo will be able to take advantage of that tonight.
Yeah, it is, but also the way it looks like Continuum is playing is they don't really care about the amount of goals scored on them. They just care about scoring more goals than that, and it can catch teams off guard, especially when you get into the playoffs like this. Especially when you're facing a team like Caligo that hasn't played a single series in the playoffs yet. Continuum coming off of I believe a Game 7 win,
Mm.
yeah, earlier on in this week, which is gonna set them up with the confidence that they can make a run in this. But yeah, it depends on Caligo for me. It depends. Can they get a hot start to this, or will they just succumb to the pressure that Continuum is gonna put on them? As we get some player statistics on the screen, take us through them, guys.
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, we can see on the Caligo, on the Continuum side, Sammy Boy. I mean, even only playing 52 games, scoring 55 games, it's a lot. 67% goal percentage, that is a lot. And on the other side, you also have Eden, who has 73 goals in 68 games, which is 71 goal percentage. So we'll definitely be looking at these two to try and lead the charge for both of their teams, to try and at least lead the scoring for each other.
Yeah, give me 1 second here, guys. I'm just trying to confirm. It looks like we have all the players in the lobby. Let me just get a confirmation though before we do anything here.
Yeah. Uh. Yeah.
Production has failed us a little bit. Both teams have, in fact, confirmed they have all their players. I think we will have some. Yeah, we do have our production queuing the gameplay here, and I think without further ado, we did our predictions, we did some talking about the teams. Servers are going. Let's just roll with it and hope that it works till the end. I'm gonna get the players on the field right now. I guess you take us into the match here.
Yeah, we are heading into game one of this best of five here. We do have the players joining at the moment, and hopefully we do have a great start. So head into the first kickoff here, which goes to the side of Conflict here. Conflict playing for Continuum here. We'll get a good 50. Continue to chase the zero boost though, but a chance for Lole here, saved by Sammy Boy. An easy save for him, clearing to the side as Zutu will continue to chase this and try to create a chance for his team.
Yeah, Soto carrying it forward, even getting a demo on his way out. Conflict following that up beautifully. Sammy Boy putting on the pressure, but not able to finish the job here. Lole will carry it forward for the side of Caligo. He's gonna take it to the corner. He's gonna get a bump on Sammy Boy. That makes things a bit interesting, but Conflict just takes it away from his teammate Soto. That leaves Sammy Boy to carry it forward. Conflict putting on the pressure. Soto to finish the job and Continuum. They take the first goal of the series. And what will that mean? The momentum on their side for now. Caligo, they need to get their way back into the series.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward from the defense of Calicut there. I mean, they're probably still trying to warm up. I mean, that's the first game of every series. And now with the best of five, there's less time for you to warm up because you do need those early wins here. But let's see how they recover as Lole now has the back of Sammy Boy with the shot. Lole, nice pop-up from Eaton, nice bump, nice demo, piece of space. But Conflict is there. What the shot change? Nice cleared to the side wall. Ethan will just try to take this control it a little flick, but not much comes out from that. And yeah, it's an open net for Sammy to try and score. Looks for the bump. Also, oh no, oh no, is that
Yeah,
an
I
goal?
feel like it was indeed a no goal. He was trying to read the backboard bounce, which, to be fair, he did read the backboard bounce, just not the perfect touch. And I think this just goes back to what I said about Continuum is gonna have hot form coming into this series. You can say all you want that, playoffs, it's the same as playing any other league game. It's the same game. It's the same teammates you have. It's the same opponents you have. But something changes once you goes into playoffs, and I'm sure you can say that, you can agree to that too, guys. It's a whole different game. It's a game about confidence. It's a game about not making mistakes. And so far, Caligo, they haven't really been able to do that part really well. They have been getting some offense, but they just too many mistakes to really get things going here in game one. And it's gonna set continue up
Oh,
with a great start here for sure. But Caligo, they need to find their way back.
yeah. As I was saying, that change here, carrying the offense, ball will bounce off the back, but rebound for Lole, goes for the flip reset, maybe he should have. But now Zoto on the ball, some boost, beats one defender. There's a demo on the back lines and opening up probably. No, it's not. Sammy Boy is there in time. Change now, wins possession back, gets a 50. It does go to Zoto waiting and there to clear that away. Ethan now will challenge this, take this up the sidewall into the corner, has a chance to try and drop this awkward clear from Sammy Boy past middle, but change to awkward position. Couldn't really react to it. But now off the back, but rebound missed by Zoto. And yeah, the offense is just not clicking for Caligo at the moment. Like they're missing the final pass, and even if they do get it, they're missing the final shots.
Yeah, conflict here, carrying it forward. It's gonna cause some disruption. That's a great dunk by Soto, buying some time for Sammy Boy to push upfield, and Soto getting the bump, but the shot is not found on target. Sammy Boy should be able to follow this one up. That's a great touch. Change mode diving in, but he gets bumped before he can get a touch. Conflict keeping it alive for Continuum, but change mode to clear it down the other end. But Soto, that's a great touch by him. Just immediately forcing the pressure onto Caligo again, and Sammy Boy keeping this one up. Conflict. Not enough boost to follow it up immediately. Will get a demo for his efforts though. Soto has to play a bit of defense here. Change mode. That's a great touch to Lolly. Shot not on target. Soto with a great clearance, but EO4 will be there for the shot, but once again, just not enough power. And Sammy Boy, that's an even
Oh,
better shot, but not on target. Conflict to follow it up, leaves it for Soto. Gonna take a 50 here. It's gonna drop to Conflict. A bit of miscommunication in defense perhaps, and that wasn't read by change mode, but you foresee to bail Caligo out for now.
oh, and Sammy Boy, nice shot from him. I mean, he went for less power to try and fake out the defender. Yeah, that was a nice read coming up from him. Nice awareness from him. And change mode with like zero boost, a bit awkward. Not much you could do there. I'm seeing the differences here. Like, Caligo, that's struggling to get a shot on target. Even though they do, it's not a really good one. But Sammy Boy has been clinical. I mean, he did he did hit like the crossbar once, but that was like an awkward angle. But now let's see what he can do as he tries to pass middle. It's an open net. Zoto has to redirect or bump, leaves it instead, and conflict will get a goal to his name. And they're ahead by 4 goals. It's not looking very good for Caligo.
Yeah, it's shut out here in game one. Continuum definitely showing that they have that confidence, that momentum coming in from the first series of this week. And Caligo, well, you finished first of the table, but that's just seeding. You have to get the things going here in the playoffs. You have your first series to show off what you really can do. You're not facing elimination yet, but with a slow start like this, even the teams in the lower bracket, if you've dropped down there, they will be smelling blood in the water and they will be putting on the pressure from the get-go. You really need to find your momentum and get going here, but Continuum here, they really start to mounting the pressure. Soto with a follow-up there, and he finishes the job. 5 goals for Continuum here in game 1 already.
Yeah, Lolly just not the best of saves. Ends up diming up Zoto. It's really hard for you to miss from that position. And yeah, with 5 goals now, this game might be done and dusted. I'm sure Caligo are thinking like, might as well just head into next game. I'm trying to imagine what the comes are, but surely definitely they'll be thinking about calming down. Cause yeah, the defense is really leaky. The offense is not clicking. They do have a lot to work in. Personally, if I was them, I think I might call it timeout after this game.
I think what you're saying, communication here is gonna be key. Do you panic in this moment? Do you just start to feel like the series is gonna just go against you, really? Or do you, as you say, try to calm down, try to get a different perspective, try to get the confidence rolling for your teammates? I feel like that would definitely be the better option, but you know, every team is different. You can go so many routes here, and I'm excited to see how Caligo takes this, but Continuum, they will be the first game winner of the night, and a stellar performance, to say the least.
Yeah, fair play to Continuum here. It's yeah, points shared across the board. I mean, Sammy Boy almost 600 there. I think he even has more than the whole of the Caligo team. So yeah, fair play to him. He's playing very well. 2 goals in 3, and you can definitely see his clinicality right there.
Yeah, indeed. And just the whole roster on Continuum, really, no one really stood out to me as someone who wasn't ready for this. On the side of Caligo, I don't really feel like any of them impressed me in this game. I mean, they all kind of made heroic efforts to try and, kill the momentum that Continuum was building, but in the end, it didn't matter because they weren't playing as a cohesive unit. Meanwhile, Continuum were. They were playing as a team. They were setting each other up, and sometimes that's just the difference between teams. And Caligo needs to find that togetherness that they had in league play and make it work here.
Yeah. So we do head into game 2 now, and there was no timeout, of course. Although I do kind of feel like Calico should have definitely taken timeout because right now momentum, Continuum are definitely going to have momentum heading into this game 2, and I don't know if Calico will be able to fix all the problems they had in the last game. But let's wait and see as we do start the game.
Yeah, and off the bat, a bit of a double commit that gets pressure for Continuum. That's a great read by Samiboy that EO4 can't get to that one, and a greater beat by him as well. He's gonna try and dunk this one onto Lolly. A bit of hesitation almost sets up a first goal for Continuum once again, but this time they get out of defense. EO4 is trying to set up change mode, a follow-up touch, a bit of mishaps in Continuum's defense, but they get away with it this time. Samiboy, he likes this little lack of pressure from the opposition, almost gets the dunk into the net, but can't quite get it. EO4 is carrying it forward here, only has one to beat, but so too. Ice in his veins, shuts that down. Change mode now tries to get it to the backboard. Lolly to follow up, but a great 50 from the goal line. EO4 to keep it alive, but so too tries to intercept. Conflict, great boom. Can Samiboy get on the end of this? Indeed he can. Bounce off the ceiling, but Conflict not able to get the read. So too is gonna try and keep the pressure going for a little bit here, but it will fall to change mode. Now into offense for Caligo. Only has one to beat. Almost saves it, but will get a goal for it. Change mode to get the goal in his credit. And Caligo, they've come a little bit alive, but it's very lackluster from them.
Yeah, that somehow worked for them. Change just faking everything. I'll say faking everything, faking the last defender. And it ended up working. But let's see. I mean, at least they do have one goal now. Might get a second. Yeah, Eaton with the shot, blocked and cleared away by Sammy Boy. Sammy Boy chasing this, could not find the bomb. Conflict with the shot. Zotu, nice demo from him. Sammy Boy now will continue to chase this, but Changemon wins possession. Not a lot of boost, so just clear this forward. Lola will go out for this redirect on target. Conflict is cleared off the backboard. Sammy Boy is there, cleared away to the opposite corner. Will continue to chase this. We'll try and bump Eaton. Does that. Zotu now with the ball, looking for a 50. Eaton will beat him. Will continue to chase this, but Conflict nice control, ice in his veins, as Zotu will be up for this, but Change will beat him. 800 boost versus one defender. Change is going for the bump, but Sammy Boy, oh my god, such composure coming out from him to survive that.
Yeah, I don't think the bump was as thought out as he would have liked. Kind of, preemptively did the double jump to try and shut down any flips away from the bump, but look at this. Conflict had an open net, but Ops took just making a chance for his teammate instead. Target not found though, and now on defense, but that's a great cutout, I believe, from Sammy Boy. He's gonna try and shut down change mode here as well, but not able to do so. So too has two to beat right here, gets one, but change mode cuts it out. Team pinch found from Caligo, but Sammy Boy, oh, that's a bit of a whiff. Change mode could set up his teammate here. Might be a little bit wide, indeed it is, but it is gonna float in the midfield. Sammy Boy to keep this one, but a bit of a mistouch from him as well. EO4 carrying it forward. Shut down by Conflict. On the backboard here, Conflict should have this one. No, he leaves it for Sammy Boy, but that's gonna be a pass to Lolly. That's a poor touch though, so too just bangs it, but EO4, he is waiting patiently in the defense there. Not gonna make any mistakes so far. Conflict up for the double tap, but Lolly just says no. Sammy Boy should cut this one out, but this is getting dangerous for Continuum. A great bounce, helping them out for now, and an even better 50 to kinda slow down the momentum that Caligo is starting to put on the other side. Sammy Boy is gonna build up a bit of an offense for his team, but it gets cut out by EO4, and another commit by change mode. Just gets on the backboard, but that's a great clear by Sotu.
Oh, that's a poor touch coming out from Eaton. But Change will cut down out early. It's off the backboard. He does get the double, but Conflict has a chance to drop this middle. All the teammates have to do is be there, and Sammy Boy and Zoot are there. Sammy Boy easy tapping for himself. Conflict has done so well to help his team there.
Yeah, and just as we started to see some consistency within Caligo. They stopped being they stopped being awkward for a little bit. They started shutting everything down, but Continuum, they turned up the pressure. They turned up the heat. They did the same thing. They just played confident and they got their goal in the end. But Change Mode gets a bit of a freebie here. Sammy Boy cuts it out though, but it's gonna float in front of the net. Conflict, a great 50-50. Lolly gets the beat. Sammy Boy on the back end here. Not a lot of boost to work with. He's gonna take it across goal. He's gonna pass it to the side here, but it's gonna fall to Lolly. And it's gonna go to EO4, but opts to leave it for Lolly again. EO4 now on the ball. Gets a bit of a good bounce here, but he just beats his own teammate on the other goal line. And now Lolly so awkward on the back end here. Great cutout by Sotu. Great read by Conflict. Change Mode can't get the read. Sammy Boy to get the follow-up. And they have found the lead in the dying time of this game.
I will say that cut from Conflict, that was really great. Nice read coming out from him, reading the whole play from Lolly, cuts that out, gets a pass off the backboard, fakes it and leaves it just for his teammate again. And I'll say Conflict is doing the dirty work for his team and he's doing very well at it.
Yeah, and well, Caligo, they get a little bit of time here to figure out what they want to do, but immediately cut out by Sammy Boy. So too gets a great bounce here, even better touch. And Lolly just choosing to leave it. Oh, the fake by Sotu not quite working out this time though. Sammy Boy, then he gets the read. Sotu is upfield, but he can't find the target. Could this be when Caligo makes a comeback? Change Mode needs a beat here, finds it, but Sotu could just kill the game right here, right now. Lolly keeps it alive, but Sotu to drop it down. EO4 back to Change Mode. Onto the sidewall. Sotu drops it down to Conflict. He banks it as far as he can, and that will give Continuum the match point already after 2 games here, guys.
Yeah, fair play to Continuum. I mean, they considered an early goal, yeah, but and they were getting a lot of pressure from Caligo, but they held out so well in defense and were able to regain their own momentum. And from there, just some lapses in the defense from Caligo. Continuum were able to take advantage of that. I mean, we even saw Sammy Boy with that great pass towards the end there, even though Zoto couldn't score that. But that was a very impressive clear into a pass.
Yeah, let me just confirm if this team wants a timeout, because there has been teams that maybe don't know.
Oh.
And it has been confirmed they do not want a timeout. They just want to go straight into next game.
Oh.
And how will that work out for them, guys? I'm questioning this decision a little bit. If I was in this moment here, I would definitely take the timeout and just try and talk some sense into my teammates. Say this is our last chance of this upper bracket. We need to make our way back. But you gotta respect the hustle.
I respect it. Like, I mean, this game was definitely far better than the last one. They had a lot of chances to. They just couldn't really score because the defense from Continuum was doing very well. But yeah, I respect it. I love the confidence coming out from them. I always love confidence, especially in a setting like this. So yeah, if they can do it, I'd like to see. Yeah.
Yeah, there has just been a question in chat from Colo. What has the scorelines been? First game, 5-0 to Continuum. Caligo really struggling to get anything going. Second game, Caligo finds the first goal, but Continuum finding 2 goals back, one in the dying moments of the game to clutch out that game. So yeah, Caligo, they really need to continue off the steam they found in the beginning of game 2 here in this game, because they have a mountain to climb at the moment. They still have their timeout to use if they would like to do so later on in the series, but they will have to win every game from now on if they want to continue in this upper bracket.
Yeah. Now Conflict. The 50 doesn't go his way. Actually, Zoto will be there. Nice win here, but clear coming out from Change. A shot from Sammy Boy. Ethan is there on the goal line. Nice control. Gets demoed out of the play by Change. Jumped a bit too early. Zoto has a chance to pass this middle. It's an awkward bounce for Lolly. Lolly can't follow. Sammy Boy will leave it to Conflict. Conflict. It's a great pass up the back, but Change will miss that. Sammy Boy is up. Shot on target. Ethan with the clear. Zoto will go for the challenge. It's a good 50 as it's made Lolly awkward. Conflict is there off the side. Will continue to chase this. Ethan has to take this to the other side, but Sammy Boy is there to read that. He has a chance to pass this middle. Zoto should have trusted that the opponent was going to miss, and he does turn around to score that. And wow,
the eyes from him. Look at this. Doesn't go for the first one. Fakes out the immediate shot. Then goes as soon as he sees EO for MC turn into the ball and just puts it straight into that top corner. That is some finishing you need if you want to go all the way here in the playoffs, guys.
Oh, definitely. As we're doing a conflict, almost scoring that off the kickoff. But now change trying to pass his middle. It's off the corner, bounce. Lolly is there, up gets a 50 conflict with the Declare. Change does have enough boost. Hopefully his teammate is back. It has Sammy boy. Oh my god. Could have scored an amazing redirect from there.
Yeah, EO4MC pushing it forward, but that shot not gonna be good enough to give them anything. A great 50 by Conflict. That's a great cut by Change though. He is gonna get another one, but Conflict being very confident right now. He's just gonna keep the pressure howling. Maybe gives the ball away a little bit on Sammy Boy. That's a bit of a mistake, but that touch gonna make it very awkward. Change mode to get on the end of it though, to get one back for Caligo. And can they ride off of this momentum that they just suddenly found off of a little bit of a mistake from Continuum?
No, it's a great pass for me, Ethan. And yeah, change pre-jumping that, trusting his teammate. I like that. I love the confidence coming up from me at the moment, but the game is all tied with 3 minutes to go. Still a lot of time to go. A Sammy boy here will miss that Ethan now with the shot. Conflict will read that. It's not a good class. Ethan was there reading that very well. And now Lole off the corner couldn't find the redirect, the double. Conflict the 50 here. Sammy boy with the clear. Ethan waiting the corner. It's on target, but Zutu is back. Cleared away. It's a big clear. Sammy boy would drop it. Actually, just killed the ball for his teammate Zutu here. As conflict is there, and I thought I was about to have an open net to shoot at.
Yeah, but also I was gonna say it looks like Continuum have started to overcommit a bit this time. That's not the case. They were in net, but that's a great play from Caligo. Conflict, a touch up, Lolly. You would think he'd just take the shot straight away, but he pops it on the backboard, and what a finish by EO4MC to get the lead for once for Caligo. Well, they had a lead last game, but that one wasn't so far. This time, they found one later on in the game, and maybe they can just hold on to this one, guys.
Yeah, it's looking likely as change now with a great clear away. Conflict though was back in time, picks up the 100. Ethan will get a challenge. Sammy boy passes back to the corner. Zutu will miss that. Lole has a chance to beat Sammy boy. Sammy boy didn't have the strength to 50 that away, and Lole will get a great goal here. And with 2 goals ahead now, Caligo they're looking really good.
They are starting to look alive. Maybe not taking that timeout is for the best. Maybe they will start to doubt themselves with that timeout. And so far, that decision is helping them out. Change mode here to put on the pressure once again. A great dunk is found. Sotu is going to try and push this one forward for Continuum. Shot not on target by Yo4, but Lolly should have a freebie here. And he puts it perfectly down in the left corner. And they have put on... Well, they had a mountain to come back from in game 1. This time, it's Continuum on the other side of the coin.
Yeah, and wow, that was some great passing play and to find the demo also. I think Caligo that they're playing very well. The momentum is in their side at the moment. But let's see what Conflict has to say about that. As he tries to go for a redirect off the corner, Samibo has an open net to shoot at. Huh.
It's not the easiest shot. You know, you have a very, very awkward angle and you can't really generate that much power. I think he knew that and he was just trying to give it to his teammate. Not to be though. Conflict gonna pick this one up. Tries to get the dunk, but change mode reads that beautifully. So too, a little bit of a whiff, but Savvy Boy should have his back covered. Indeed he does, and he actually beats out one. Lolly is gonna be on the back end. That's a great wave dash touch, but EO4 just gets it in time. That's a double commit. That could spell disaster for Continuum. Change mode opting to not put it on target. Two players from Calico also overcommitting, but a whiff from Continuum to seal the deal for Calico. 5-1 to them, and it's almost surefire that they get a game back here.
Yeah, Conflict kind of backflip there. Yeah, Continuum, I don't know what happened, but it looks like it's really not going well for them at the moment. I low-key will want them to get a timer after this game, because they're missing stuff, they're overcommitting, they're double committing, and maybe it's getting to their heads when you're about to sweep, and now with the potential of reverse sweep, it might really get to their heads.
It's just a bit of overcommits here and there and some double commits. It's not the hardest to figure out in these moments. They still play like a unit. They just, yeah, they made a couple mistakes and that's cost them this game. How they lock back in though is gonna be everything in this series, because just as they are starting to feel the pressure from Caligo after this win from Caligo, Continuum still have the pressure of just a single game win could spell the end of this series. EO4 though is gonna keep this one alive for Caligo. Takes it to the corner. Gonna try and find change. Not able to find the finish though. Sotu just gonna put this one on his backboard. Gonna try and kill this one, I believe. Sammy Boy to cut it out. Maybe one for momentum, but change. Just gonna let it drop. And Caligo, they have one on the board here.
Yeah, and a very strong one, a very strong result too. And well played to them. Eaton 5 saves. 5 saves is a lot. And that's why he does have over 700 points here. So fair play to them. They're playing very well at the moment, and I can see why they didn't want to take a timeout. You know, they felt like they're doing very well towards the end of last game. Maybe some things didn't work, and they figured out what they needed to change. And they definitely did that in this game. They had a lot of passing plays. Instead of being a bit more clinical, and their defense was a bit more solid. So yeah, they're playing very well now. But Continuum have to step up their game now since their opponents have.
Yeah, personally, I mean, Caligo stepped up a little bit. They went from a solid 5 in my head of gameplay to a 6 or a 7, but I feel like Continuum went from like an 8 to like a 6 in this game. So, what? Maybe a 5 actually, because Caligo was better in this game. So, probably a 5 for Continuum, a 7 for Caligo, I would say. Continuum, they definitely showed more spirit in the first 2 games, but Caligo, if they can build upon this, they could make a surprise in this series. But, well, there's only one way to find out, and we're about to have it on our screen right here. I'm sorry for that, Flossie. I did not intend for that. I apologize to everyone in chat. That was not my intention.
Well, we do head into game 4 right now as Conflict does win position here, beats Eat and fakes him out. Can fake Lolly out here, but Lolly, nice patience coming out from him here, wins the ball off the 50. Lolly with the pass to change, clearing this away, falls into Zotu. Zotu can keep him middle. Sammy Boy is there, 50 boost, goes for an edible, beats Eat and has one more to beat off the back boy, keeps him middle. Conflict is there, but Lolly, nice read, nice save coming out from him to keep his team now. Although it's still it's still the beginning of the game, you still want to score early.
Yeah, and this pressure, but Conflict cutting it out. He's gonna have to go again though. That's a good dunk onto change. Conflict looking for the 50, just gets it past the defender, but so much boost on Caligo's defense here and not a lot on the offense of Continuum. Sotu gets a beat onto the defender there. Change under pressure here from Conflict. Conflict just trying to put it on target, making him awkward. That's on the backboard. Sotu has been so clinical with his finishing, but this time not able to beat the last defender. Sammy Boy keeping this one in play, but change, cutting it out just in time. Lolly into the midfield, but Sotu is just gonna have to take this one to his corner. Not the best control there, and Sammy Boy just dropping it to EO4, setting up a chance, but not to be for Caligo yet. Sotu is gonna bang this one to the opposition. Gonna try and build some fast momentum for them here. A bit of a whiff from Lolly here. Conflict popping it up. Surely he'll leave this for a teammate. No commit from Sammy Boy though. And that's a very bad touch. But good save. Sotu under pressure. But that's a great save by him. And Continuum have stepped up their game since the last game already.
I think they're still stuck in defense though, as Ethan will fix Sammy Boy out and Ethan will score. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what you call a castle curse from Ville right there.
Yeah, and that's a good fake by EO4 MC. You can't even discredit that to a poor defensive effort. I mean, he finds the opener. Continuum needing to find some form again if they want to fight back. At least if they want to keep my prediction alive. Sammy Boy gonna bang this one to the corner. EO4 gonna bang it straight back. Sotu gonna pop it up in front of his own net. Conflict to follow it up. Can't get the sidewall read, but that sets up Sammy Boy. Can't beat the defender though. A bit of a whiff from 2 defenders from Caligo. That's a pass straight to Sotu. Beats 1 defender. That one is gonna fall straight in front of the goal, but Sotu can't find the finish. And in fact, he can. Cross that straight out. They found the equalizer and found some form immediately, responding to Caligo's first goal.
Yeah, can we talk about how close Conflict was to score that redirect from there? That would have been insane. But at least they do get a goal back. With only 3 minutes left. Still a lot to fight for. Game is tied. This can go either way. As change. Air dribble here. Let's get a 50. Sammy Boy wins ball here. Lolly off the ceiling. Beats him. Zone 2 now. Into the back. Boy change will get a Zone 2 will challenge it again. Ethan now on the break off. We'll try and get another touch here. But Sammy Boy will beat him. Change will try and pass this middle off the backboard. Nobody is there for the rebounds. Lolly has to back off. Zotu is not a great pinch from Lolly, as now it's off the backboard again. Conflict will be up, trying to keep this middle. It's an awkward one for Sammy Boy. Beats two. Conflict is still forward. Conflict can pop it up, but change. Nice read and nice intuition from him. And Ethan scores there off a miss from the last defender out the corner.
Yeah, so too. Should have had that read, but he's just a bit too slow to it. That sets up EO4MC, and he doesn't hesitate. He puts that one straight into the back of the net. 2 minutes 10 seconds left to go though. A lot of Rocket League to be played, a lot of potential goals to be found. Now is where the eyes needs to be found from both sides. Caligo has the lead, but can they hold on to it? Continuum on the back end for the second time in this series. Oh well, for the third time. But they are 50-50 on coming back so far in the series. Can they do it once again? Can they find a miracle in this game?
Oh,
Only time will tell.
Oh.
Sammy Boy keeping it alive. Change mode. Gonna be awkward, and EO4MC makes it even more awkward. That pop-up's gonna set up Sotu. Puts it on the backboard. Change. Not too confident, but he's gonna clear it to the side. Sammy Boy onto the backboard. Down to Conflict! And that's the equalizer they've been looking for.
yeah, it's a great challenge coming out from Sammy Boy. And Conflict, right time, right position, right time, gets the equalizer. And 1 minute and a half left. Yeah, it's still some time, but it's getting closer. We're getting closer to the end of this game. Might as well even get an overtime, who knows. But now, game is tied. It's a bit equal here. Let's see what happens. Who gets the first goal? I think whoever gets the next goal will most likely win this game, and maybe potentially even the series.
It's gonna be an impactful game, this one for sure. It's gonna decide whether Continuum can make my predictions come true, or whether Caligo can give you a Hail Mary to maybe make your prediction come true, or maybe even upset both of us. Because none of us predicting them to go through this upper bracket game series right here, but Soto is gonna try and make my prediction come true with a nice little cut there, a good pinch. Lolly on the back end, holding out strong, but that's a great 50 by Soto. Not able to follow it up though, and the bump from Lolly is gonna make it even more difficult. But what is that touch from Conflict? Out of nowhere, keeping the pressure mounting for Continuum. That one, oh, another cutout. Continuum, they are playing very risky right here. It has not cost them yet. Change mode, so awkward, and Conflict. He finds the goal for Continuum. Caligo, everything on the line here. What can you do? Can you show us greatness, or will you falter in the face of challenge?
Yeah, this is what we like about Continuum here. You know, full on offense, taking the risky plays, going for the demos here and there, and being arbitrary. You know, following your team is very closely, and that's what we saw there. Help them lead to a goal, and now they are in the lead with 30 seconds left. Let's see whether they try to defend or potentially try and add as change. Just get a shot. It's not on target though. But it's now into the side wall. We'll try and go for the follow up. Who missed that? Lolly though goes for a redirect into the backboard. Not much happens there. But now Sammy Boy passes his middle. It's a risky one. Conflict to take charge. Will continue to chase this. Lolly will pick up the 100. Gets it clear. Zotu will be off for the challenge early. Last defender Ethan is there. Wins possession back. Who missed that also? Maybe try and pass his middle. Gets a flick. Sammy Boy will cut out early. He's on target. Actually, and Sammy Boy who scored 0-second goal, winning his team the game, not only the game but also the series.
And that's my prediction come true, guys, right here, right there. And can I just reiterate, or just, I can't stress enough what I loved seeing from Continuum here in the dying moments of this game. It was 2-2, guys. It was 2-2. Yes. Both teams under pressure. Continuum not as much pressure as Caligo. Caligo looked like they just didn't want to lose this game. Continuum, they took risk after risk after risk, and they made it work, not just a little bit. They took this game by storm in the dying embers. Caligo not to be found for that last minute of this game.
Yeah, and that's the difference between who wants to win and who wants to lose, as we do have the post-series stats here. It was really close with 12 goals to 10 here. 31 shots. Caligo are actually having more shots, but Momentum also having one more shot. So yeah, it was very, very close series. But what made the difference in this series was who wanted it more, and Continuum definitely showed that.
Yeah, they took the series by storm from the beginning. A 5-0 victory in the first game, the biggest score difference in the whole series. Second game, they were down 1 goal, but they fought right back and took the game in a 2-1 fashion. Then they then went on to drop a game 5-1, but straight after, they showed this performance. This is a team that could be champions. Definitely a team to look out for. As we have our series MVP on screen, Sammy Boy. I feel like you could make an argument for anyone on that team, but most importantly, Sammy Boy is gonna get it this time with 5 goals, 3 assists, and 5 saves. So too, also an honorable mention. And Conflict, I feel like he was just the glue on that team, making it all tick.
Yes.
And what a performance by these teams.
Yeah, personally, my MVP will be Conflict, honestly. I mean, he didn't really have the stats to show, but a lot of the times he kept winning back possession for his team. He kept on that midfield pressure, and he knew when to turn, challenge, create for his team. He kept doing that. He was always in the right position, right time, and that's what I liked from him. And yeah, all-round great gameplay from all the players on Continuum. Also on Caligo, just wasn't their time at the moment to win.
Yeah, and I feel like without further ado, guys, because we have had server issues recently, and I personally just want to make this playoffs as good as possible. So I feel like we're just gonna rush to a break here and see where we end up. But I mean, I've just gotten word we do have time. Is there anything you want to discuss after this? I feel like everything I wanted to say has been said.
Yeah, I've said everything. I mean, we do have the playoff bracket here. Continue will move forward into the upper final. Rocketeers 2-0 up over Vortex. Catch that on the second stream, RSC-eu. Hopefully our producer will put the link in the chat. And Caligo, I think potentially can go back to meet Continue in the grand final, potentially. So we'll have to wait and see as all the action happens today. Stay tuned. And I think that's it for me. I don't know if that's it from you, Vil, too.
I just quickly want to go on. Oh, never mind. We had the bracket on screen. I kind of wanted to go over it and then maybe some caster predictions because we have a lot of time here. And we have this beautiful graphic, I believe made by Archeon himself. If I just quickly can go over the bracket, 2-0 for Rocketeer so far. They are trying to end this upper bracket series in a sweep. And that would actually be an upset for me because I had Vortex going all the way to 3rd place in this one. So I might not be too happy though. Carl's getting 3-0'd. I had that predicted, so good for me. Shinjiro, I had them going out, so hopefully Journeyman can make a comeback down at that lower bracket run. But yeah, that is what the games are looking so. Oh, Rocketeers have in fact beat Vortex 3-0. Can we get caster predictions on screen? I just want to see what my fellow casters has decided on. Yeah, if you look at my predictions, they might seem a little far-fetched compared to everyone else. I feel like that would be a fair judgment. Anything you want to mention about these predictions, guys?
I mean, I think everyone's own is like pretty consistent, you know. Most people have like Forge and TBK, Team Berserkers a bit low. You know, Death Cloud and Rocketeers a bit middle, although some people have, I think the biggest difference is Azteca and 20 Rocketeers. Also Momentum, it's like, everyone has different places for where they think these teams are.
Yeah, in fact, indeed they do, and it's gonna be interesting to see which caster can be the most right, or maybe even just the least wrong is maybe the right way to put it. But I think without further ado, guys, do you have anything you want to add? Otherwise, we can be moving on.
I'm nothing else to say.
Okay, we will be moving on to a break, but we will be right back with another great series of Rocket League, so stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, have a good evening.
Do you struggle to rank up in Rocket League? Are you stuck in Diamond while your other friends flex their SSL title? Well, look no further. I have partnered up with LTXAcademy as a coach, and we are ready to boost your gameplay. With multiple tournaments and trophies won, and thousands of dollars earned, I will tailor to your needs and make sure you get to that next level. I'm also doing discounted prices for the first 10 days, so you do not want to miss out. And you are also probably thinking,
CMOS, how do I book a session with you?
well, that's easy. Just open up that fancy browser of yours, type metafy.gg/@cmasorl_, pick a session to your liking, book a time, and bang, you're booked, and I'll see you in the call. Once again, that's metafy.gg/@cmasorl_.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
Shaking the room from the back to the center, making you move to the track, you surrender. Body scrunching your face closed up. As we enter, shaking the room from the back to the center, making you move to the track, you surrender. Body scrunching your face closed up, the bass goes boom as we enter. Scrunching your face closed up cause the bass goes shaking the room from the back to the center, making you move to the track, you surrender. Shaking the room from the back to the center, you're scrunching your face closed up cause the bass goes
ungakwatela la mina ngizosakela la ngizophola mina kuzodlula ungakwatela la mina ngizosakela la uzophola mina ngizodlula. You let me down, you let me feel like I am alive to figure out. I guess now we can be done, we can move on about a little lives, a little lives. Aquatela, mina ngizosakela, ngizophola, kuzodlula. Aquatela, mina ngizosakela, ngizophola, you let me down, 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 without a sound, sound, sound. You let me down, 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 without a sound, sound, sound. Aquatela, mina ngizosakela, ngizophola, kuzodlula. Aquatela, mina ngizosakela, kuzophola, ngizodlula. You let me down, you let me feel like I am alive to figure out. I guess now we can be done, we can move on about a little lives, a little lives. Aquatela, mina ngizosakela, ngizophola, kuzodlula. Aquatela, mina ngizosakela, ngizophola, break down, we're alive, or we run in circles, running around. Break down, chase the light, we're all in but on the go. Running for my life. Feel the light. Running for my life. Running for my life.
dollars earned, I will cater to your needs and make sure you get to that next level. I'm also doing discounted prices for the first 10 days, so you do not want to miss out. And you are also probably thinking,
CMOS, how do I book a session with you?
well, that's easy. Just open up that fancy browser of yours, type medify.gg/@cmasorl_, pick a session to your liking, book a time, and bang, you're booked, and I'll see you in the call. Once again, that's medify.gg/@cmasorl_.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
Hello everyone, welcome back to RSC. We are live once again with the lower quarterfinals. Matchup between Shinjiru and Vortex, best of 5. Now, backs against the wall for both these teams. Well, I'm joined by Veiled. Veiled, you just casted a series, and I'm here fresh, ready to join you. How are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I just casted Continuum Caligo. Of course, Caligo will be playing in the other lower games. If you want to watch them, you have to switch to the B stream. But here on the A stream, we have Shinjiru, Vortex. Interesting matchup. Do you have anything to mention about that matchup? I heard you talking briefly about it before we started.
No, if I was going off league season performance, these guys are kind of just neck and neck, pretty even as far as it goes. Bit of difference in the win-draw category, but yeah, if we're going off of how they performed through RSC16 so far, these teams are about as even as it gets. So I'm not sure how that was going to translate into like the post-season playoffs or whatnot, because I know that sometimes it can really like throw a spanner in the works for a lot of matchups. But yeah, I don't know which way to go for this one really. I was thinking about predictions, so we're going to reveal our predictions in just a moment. But yeah, it's a bit of a difficult one for me.
Yeah, I can understand it. Of course, Vortex, they come off of getting swept in that upper bracket, and Shinjiru making it through, I believe, in a 3-1 fashion over Journeyman, which I might be a little bit disappointed about, because I had Shinjiru going out immediately, but upsets are there for a reason, or maybe it wasn't even an upset, maybe I'm just wrong in my opinion, who knows, but we do have an interesting matchup right here, and it is one of the 2 lower bracket matchups. I'm not sure how many what's it called, how many production things is gonna come on the screen. I'm not sure the exact wording right now, but I think we might just be doing predictions and going straight into the game, because we are a bit late on time and we do have all the players in. So take us in, Zach. What is your prediction for this matchup?
Yeah, if I remember what I said about 5 minutes ago, it's going to be 3-1 to Shinjiru for me. That is the team that I have winning this one. Although, like I said, my mindset is still I fully expecting it to go either way. But I'm going to go for one side over the other. What about you?
Yep, I have Vortex taking it 3-0. Just a clean sweep for them.
Okay.
Might be a little bit fueled by my it's not hatred towards Shinjiro. I don't hate any teams here, but I did predict them to go out immediately, so I'm gonna back Vortex to go all the way to third place in this tournament. So those are the people I'm gonna be backing here. And we do in fact have our intermission on screen here. I'm gonna tell the players to get on field. Zach, take us into this game.
Yeah, here we go. If we lose here, we are out. Both teams know this. Both teams are going to be feeling that pressure. How they perform under that pressure might determine which way this match goes. Some teams definitely better, but we are away with a kickoff. TJ catching this one. Combat goes up for it, but he's beaten already by TJ, and TJ's shot saved away by Strafe. Almost an early goal here coming in. We have a bit of a scuffle in the midfield. Magic with a 50, and already they're on the board.
That's what we like to see if we're backing Vortex. However, Shinjiro, a bit slow start after they got their win in the last series. Not really able to transition that into this series. So far, at least, it's early days, only 16 seconds in, and we do have another kickoff here. Magic gonna get it back left for Stealthy Wolf, but a bit of a whiff. And now Shinjiro, they get their first offense, but not able to convert it. That's a great touch by TJ.
Uh-oh, it's open.
Sets up Stealthy Wolf, and he will convert. That's 2 goals for Vortex already, Zach.
I'm looking good for you right now. Yeah, I'd say both these teams have come off of a game, so they are both warmed up. Clearly, Vortex feeling that energy coming in and good momentum to start them off. See if Shinjiro have an answer for it, though. They're going to be searching for it. They did have a little bit of a opportunity there just a second ago, but right now it seems like Vortex have a bit more confidence on the ball, a bit more pressure kind of put on top of Shinjiro, and they're struggling to deal with it at the minutes. Really, really looking like Vortex's game here in the first of the series. That's going to be a sign of things to come. Maybe you are the prophet. But yeah,
maybe I am, but
yeah, maybe. I was trying to think of the adjective, but prophet was the only one that came to mind. I don't know.
Maybe clairvoyant or transcendent or all-knowing. Who knows?
Okay,
I won't
buddy.
be using those kind of words about myself because that would be a bit egotistical. But at least in this matchup, so far it's looking good. Vortex almost able to convert a third one, but Combat shuts that one down. He's going to be looking for an offense on his side here. It's a great beat there, but Strafe too slow to get onto that one. Kesa or Skies, I'm not sure exactly how he would like to be referred to, but he will try and cut it out. Combat off his own backboard here. He's going to take it down into TJ. Not able to take it forward. Strafe, forward pass. Combat gets a beat, but oh, that sets up Strafe. A bit of a double commit. That sets up Combat. He will get one back for Shinjiro here.
Beautiful play coming in there. Bit of a scuffle in the middle of the net. Double commit on defense, and Magic is not able to clear that one in time. You see their Combat. Very nice going for the challenge, and it's just a simple goal for them. They're back on it. They're on the board. They're going to be feeling it now. They are answering my prayers, being the one to predict them to win this all. TJ goes up for that one. Combat and Magic having a bit of a scrap. It's over to Skies midfield with a shot. Stealthy staves it away. Strafe catches it in the air. Stealthy goes up for the challenge. Let's see what can happen here. Seems like a bit of a Shinjiro half here coming in as we're approaching the second half of the match. They're definitely coming alive in this series. Those 2 goals waking them up a little bit and combating this momentum actually that Vortex have built up. Combat approaching the side of the net. And we have Strafe catching this one. Last one. Oh, it's a bit too wide though. And now TJ on for the counter attack. But a bit of pressure mounting for Shinjiro, Veiled.
Yeah, they're starting to look more comfortable. Now the question is just, can they convert once again? There was a bit of a misplay on the side of Vortex in the defense to give that 1 goal back. But it should spark some confidence into the Shinjiro roster. Maybe they can force another error. Skies, Kesa, gonna try and do just that, but not able to follow up his own touch to the sidewall. Strafe will be backing him up though, but no follow up here. Magic to the sidewall. TJ is gonna be taking over that one. Gets a beat onto a second defender. Skies, Kesa able to take that one though. Stealthy Wolf, a little bit of a whiff there. Magic also just get beat. TJ is able to take that pressure and put it on the other side though. And what a double tap by him to make it free for Vortex.
Beautiful there. TJ following that one up. And Combat tried to clear it away. He's not able to get into the right position. And TJ just lovely follow up there. And that goal deficit growing now back to 2 goals. Shinjiro were looking alive, but Vortex shutting them down completely. This guy's tried to pass it over to Strafe. Strafe missing that. Combat goes for the challenge, misses it. Strafe and goes for the catch, but it's a little bit awkward. It's kind of hung here in the middle of the net. Can Vortex put any pressure on it? He can't. It's back into their side of the pitch. Strafe goes for it, and we're just kind of in a bit of a scrap. There's a lot of players collecting here on the side of the pitch together. See if it can really form some sort of offense here. Combat now. Double tap on the wall. It's caught by Magic off the backboard. Bit of an awkward flip reset coming in. Stealthy gets it over 1. It looks like it's just going to be open. And that's 4-1 now to Vortex. Looking like they want to take this one and kind of drive it home, really. What a great start for them.
Yeah, it was a great delayed flick there by Magic off the flip reset. You say he was awkward. Maybe it wasn't intentional, but he gets the late touch that throws off one defender. Stealthy Wolf immediately jumping on the opportunity to try and beat the last defender. Does so beautifully, and TJ, what a flick by him. Top bins.
We on the caster screen right now? That's what I'm seeing. It might be.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm seeing that too. I think
it's a podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, we're just podcasting this game.
We're podcasting,
it's just
yeah.
audio only. No gameplay for you guys. That's what we're saying. 5-1. I mean,
5-1 with 51 seconds to go. I noticed that.
Yeah, TJ is gonna try and dunk. He does get the dunk, but Combat clearing it off his backboard there. Magic getting tested on his backboard, able to clear to Stealthy Wolf. He finds the corner in the backboard, but it's cut out by Skies. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but Strafe is gonna take it away from his backboard. Skies on the follow-up, but it's not the best touch. Shattered, getting back into the lobby. That's the MVP performance of this game right here, Strafe. Oh, that was a bit awkward, but he gets it off his goal line. Strafe is going to pass this one infield to Combat. He takes it up, can't get it over Magic, but not TJ, who cuts it out right in the midfield. Stealthy Wolf going to launch an attack, but not able to get much of the ball. But this game is over. Vortex will take the win. It's just a matter of what the scoreline will be. Combat with a last-ditch effort, but it's cut out. And Vortex 5-1 victory, a statement from them here in game 1.
Yeah, wow, just complete domination there. It was like for about a minute or so to be Shinjiro with the pressure, but Vortex completely forward momentum towards the later half. 7 shots on the side of them to 4 on the side of Shinjiro. Really coming alive. A lot of ball touches actually on the side of Shinjiro, so they had a lot of control. They were trying to control the ball, but ultimately it just seemed like, I don't know where those 5 goals came from. They just kind of came out of nowhere, failed, like, for me. Sort of running away with the game completely. I don't know.
I feel like it was pretty fast counterattack, really. They made some mistakes, don't get me wrong, but Shinjiro just made way many more mistakes, and it was just a quick follow-ups from Vortex, and they played the misses of Shinjiro players when they thought they looked awkward, and they got the win from that. And you know, you could say it just came out of nowhere, but it was just collectively they just were better, I feel like, in this game. And Shinjiro needs to step it up if they want to get one back here in the second game, because pretty one-sided in the first game.
Yeah, capitalizing off those mistakes will often lead to those really sudden goals. Bit of a shock factor for Shinjiro. Hopefully that doesn't affect them as they go into the second match on Forbidden Temple now. Kickoff. Caught by Combat now. He takes it to the midfield. Magic goes up for it. Nice challenge there. Shutting that one down. TJ's going to catch this one off the backboard. Stealthy goes for a shot, but it's cleared away by Strafe, and Sky's going to pop that across, and it looks like it's on net. It is. Combat finishing that one off, and beautiful crossfield pass basically coming in from Skies. Beautifully positioned, and both defenders kind of committing for that one. Stealthy Wolf's too far up the field, and yeah, we're talking about exploiting mistakes. I think that's on the flip side for Shinjiro.
Yeah, Vortex, they gave that one away. Magic and I believe TJ double committing there. TJ didn't have enough boost to get to it. Magic did, but didn't get a touch, and that just left the net right open. And the net is getting tested once again, but Stealthy Wolf should have the clear here. He tries to find TJ upfield, not able to do so. TJ, a great challenge there, will keep the ball floating in the midfield. Skies will get the beat there. Oh, that's a
Oh my
great
God.
shot. What a save by
What the
Stealthy
hell?
Wolf, though, to keep things alive for Vortex early on in this game. Tries to get the dunk as well, but Skies just fakes it out. Drops it to Strafe, but a great cutout by TJ here. And pressure mounting onto Vortex's side right now, but a great clear here could set things up for Vortex. TJ not able to follow through, though. And what a read that is by Combat, but not much gonna be found by Sinjiro off of that.
Yeah, they're still on the attack, which is exactly what they need. They need to completely put a stop to whatever high that Vortex are riding right now. TJ puts it midfield, gets a bump for his troubles also. That's not really translating into anything after no follow-up from the side of Vortex. Now we're back into their side of the field, and Stealthy's going to draw this one off the back wall. It's got no boost to work with, so Sky's going to be able to take that one pretty easily, pretty comfortably, defend that one away. Magix gets bumped into Heaven, and oh wow, that might be a counter-attack attempt. No, Sky's going to save that away. And TJ constantly on this side, trying to make things happen. A lot of passes to the midfield, a lot of opportunities trying to be created. But we're not having a lot of follow-up from the teammates. It's a little bit awkward on the offense now. Bit of a different side to Vortex that we just saw from them. And a 50 on the side of the net is going to deny Skies. And his attempt to goal, combat off the side wall, is actually going to miss. Strafe as the last man alive is awkward, but it's thankfully off to the side of Vortex, almost with an opportunity to score that. It was looking like it was going to be put home, but not happening. And it's the game seems to have slowed down, but as long as we remain on this 1-goal score line, unless that's going to happen, and Magic puts it away. I was going to say, the longer this 1-goal deficit goes on, the high risk of score is going to happen, but it finally connects for Vortex.
Yeah, and one thing I did notice throughout this game, of course, game state has changed a bit since that analysis from me, but it looked like Shinjiro is starting to play a little bit closer to each other in defense. I don't feel like it's the follow-ups have been slower from Vortex. The follow-ups from Shinjiro in defense has just been a little bit faster, able to deal with it. But I've also seen the change in Vortex, and they changed from trying to take the ball to the corner and trying to build from that to just a more direct approach at net. And well, that has worked out for them to get the equalizer in this game. Still 2 minutes to go though. Skies is gonna take control of this ball. He's gonna take it to the side. Oh, that's a bad pass down to Strafe, but a whiff. Oh, another whiff as well from Vortex. Could open up the counter for Shinjiro. I think that one is off target, indeed it is. But it is gonna be put to the side by TJ. That's not the best touch by Skies, but it will fall to Strafe, who can keep the dream alive for a little bit longer. Magic gotta cut it out though, but Combat, just great positioning from him. Able to get that ball falling straight onto his car. Combat opts to not go for the pass, tries to get the bump instead. Gets neither. Now Stealthy Wolf gonna carry it forward. Great cutout by Magic, but Skies even better. And a bit of pressure coming on from Shinjiro right now. Can Vortex get it back to the offensive side? Indeed they can right now, but it doesn't look like the most lucrative effort right now.
It's like a rush to the side. Magic, beautiful double tap, second one of the match. Did it last game, I believe, in exactly the same fashion. And Strafe just not able to position himself. Does get a touch to it, but it's into the net rather than to the side. And that is the break point that Vortex have been searching for. See if they can hold on to this lead. Be pretty devastating for Shinjiro if they go 2-0 down so early on, and in not so convincing fashion as the first game. They've definitely really worked on those things that they were missing in that first game. And they've put a lot of work into this match. Vortex still ahead though. So you try and search for something. Oh, a 50 going towards their net. TJ manages to catch that one. Strafe's going to follow it up. Gets the bounce down into the midfield, but it's caught away and defended. Combat trying to make something happen. Just a pass to the midfield. Strafe with the shot. Stealthy Wolf there. Just catching it lovingly. Not really any difficulty there. So we've got a lot of space now for Vortex. Plays to the midfield. It's off the backboard. We're playing to this corner now. Can they make a pass infield? They were challenged away by Vortex. And with 8 seconds left to go, Veil, it's not looking likely we're going to get an answer. Combat now, the last opportunity here. Can he make something happen? He's going to make a dribble now. It just hits the ground. Strafe with a shot. TJ saved off the backboard, and that might be it. Who knows? It's still in the air. We're just waiting for it to hit the ground. It does finally, and Vortex now 2-0 up.
Yeah, and I feel like this was actually a very interesting game to watch as a viewer, because obviously you saw Shinjiro fighting back, and even the statistics is backing them up here. They had 13 shots on goal. Vortex only 4, but well, they had a better shooting accuracy, so they will get the better end of that trade. But really, the offensive way that Shinjiro, the approach they've been using in this game has been way better than in the first game. They try to take the ball away. They try to abuse the fact that Vortex is just trying to challenge as early as possible, and Shinjiro is just trying to take the ball away and just make them waste as much boost as possible. And in that ending of that game, I don't know if you noticed, but Vortex was just permanently on very, very low boost when they went defense, and Shinjiro was just starving them. Not able to get anything from it though, but if they want to get back, they need to make that work, and they need to get that end product here in the last game, or in the third game rather. Could be the last game, but I can't say that for now.
Yeah, we are entering match point. I don't want to say a lot of those shots really seemed like they were kind of just shot straight at Vortex. So, even in a low boost situation, you're not going to miss out on a save like that, right? If it's just straight into your hands. Just looking for that slight change to positioning, or slightly different touches to maybe make those shots and convert them into goals, because it could have been a lot more, and there could have been a lot more goals scored by Shinjiro in that round had they made those connections work. But here we go, backs against the wall. It's all or nothing right now for Shinjiro. They have to win this, otherwise they are out of the RSC. Hopefully that might be a bit of a motivator, as they came alive in the last game. Let's see if they can make something change in this one. Strafe with a chance. Anyone in the middle? It's just TJ defending it away. And again, some early aggression from Shinjiro.
Yeah, Skies actually bumped his own teammate away from being able to take that shot right there. That's why there was no finish. Strafe, that's not the best touch. That shot is good enough. He just slows Strafe down just enough to where he can just sneak that ball past him and get a goal out of it. And I'm sorry for interrupting you before. I just really wanted to get that point across, but I'll let you take over once again.
No, I did a good observation on the bump. I did see a bump, but both of these teams are in the purple pinky color, so I was not sure. I did see a bump happen. I just wasn't confident enough on who it was to even to mention it. So thank you for that one, helping me out. And now Vortex on the attack. Stealthy Wolf down the middle, but he's just a bit too fast on it. A little bit early on the uptake there. We've got Skies passing it across field. TJ, again, these early challenges, just intercepting, not giving Shinjiro any room to breathe. Can they turn these opportunities into any goals? TJ pops it off his car. 2 Shinjiro players committing to that one, and Magic's got a shot on net. Oh, and unfortunately, Strafe isn't able to pop it high. Instead goes off the crossbar and it bounces in. Beautiful opportunity spotted by Magic there, and Strafe not really quick on the read. Quick enough on the read, shall I say?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really, really good shot. Like, the power he gets on that, and the placement just good enough, but the real kicker there is just Strafe. He's not ready for it. He's not thinking that that's a possibility in that moment, and well, the trigger was pulled very quickly, and he wasn't, as you said, he just wasn't up to the task of saving that one. Oh, but that's a great effort from Strafe though, just sneaking it past 2 defenders. And maybe they can find a way back into this game from that.
It really was a sneaky goal. Great pass from Skies, and all 3 reaching for it, but not able to get to it. So good opportunity now for them to get back into this game, like you mentioned. See if they can grab the ball by the horns, so to speak. Or Vortex are going to let them combat down the middle now. Fakes it, but an awkward touch, not really leading to a shot. Cleared away. It's back in the midfield combat again, but another awkward touch is going to put it wide. Skies is there. Strafe ready for it, but it's a bit too far forwards. Didn't want to TJ. Magic gets a nice 50 over towards him, gets another one, gets demoed for his troubles, stealthy out off the backboard. Can TJ make the angle work? He can! What a beautiful angle, flies up for it. Even it's a weak touch from Stealthy, but they still managed to get the shot off, and there's no defenders back in time. All of that work, Shinjiru, back to square one for them. 2-goal deficit now, but we're still with 3 minutes left to go.
Yeah, game is definitely still alive, but Vortex, they have an iron grip on this game right now, on this series right now. They kind of got back into it in game 2, Shinjiro, but they're unable to take anything from that game into this game 3 so far. Only finding a sneaky goal off of, well, I would say a bit of misplay by Vortex, but it's a great catch by Strafe who found the back of the net there.
Oh my god.
Was making it 4. They get away with that one, Shinjiro, but you really need to start thinking about how you gotta get back into the series. You're 2 goals down. You can't be making too many mistakes. Whereas when you started this game, you could really just throw everything and hope something sticks. At this point, you kind of also want to make sure that you don't conceive even more and make this task even harder than it already is.
Yeah, on all 50 into the net. It looks like it's going in. Skies finding an opportunity there. Let's watch this back. I was almost too caught up in your conversation. Yeah, just goes for the 50 and no one's back. So, yeah, I don't want to... Good opportunity found, but also, like, I was not really expecting something like that to happen. A goal is a goal, though. 1 for 1. As we kind of reduce the scoreline a little bit, it's going to give Shinjiro another lifeline into this series. Another chance for them to stop themselves from being eliminated. But Vortex right now just feeling like the cleaner and more complete team in everything that they attempt. To be honest with you, I think the 3-0 is deserved if it does come through, as predicted by yourself. But right now we're just waiting for Shinjiro to really do something with the opportunities that they kind of create.
Yeah, let me just, I just quickly want to mention the last series I casted, I was also dead on the money.
I was thinking that
statistic if I could be that once again. Well, Vortex is going to be working hard to try and make that happen. Shinjiro on the back end. They have to find one more goal here with 1 minute left. Clock is ticking against them at the current moment. TJ is going to keep that pressure for Vortex. A clear from Skies. Combat gets on the end of it. Should be there. Magic is in fact there for the clear, but it's not good enough to get out of defense. But Stealthy Wolf, a wonder save from him to take some of the pressure off. Combat still going to have the possession though, but that should be easy for TJ to deal with. Indeed it is. Skies last man back. He's going to try and make it hard for TJ to come past him. He does make it past, but Strafe makes it back, but Magic just sends it down the line and makes it 2-goal lead for them once again. And well, this task that Shinjiro looked like they might have been up to the task, it just goes back to stage 1. They have to find so much once again.
Yeah, TJ doing really well to force that one through the sides, and Magic just knew the ball was... It was just too close to the net. Like, you know, 50, maybe it goes your way, but yeah, so much force on that one, and Magic just puts it in. And again, it's just heartbreaking probably for Shinjiro, and probably feels very frustrating for them, because it doesn't seem like a lot of the things that they're trying to make out, unless this happens. Yeah, Skies is completely saying, stop talking. You don't know what you're talking about. It just goes to the midfield, and it's just kind of left sat there. Magic just missing. No boost. TJ, no boosts. Goes back to like what you're saying, just boost starved defense. And it finally, you know, something finally happens because of it. But we've only got 18 seconds left to really see if they can equalize it. It's going to be really hard. They're going to need to just try and make things happen right now. Vortex on the attack, though, isn't going to help that. Skies with a pot shot towards the sides. TJ catches that one. It's 2 seconds left for the ball to hit the ground. Combat's going to get an awkward touch. It's going to hit the ground eventually. Skies off the sidewall. Combat, can he pick it up? Oh, it's going to hit the ground now. Yeah. And that's Vortex.
Yeah, a little bit of excitement here in the end. But yeah, as you say,
yeah,
Vortex, they took it. Yeah, I mean, Shinjiro, they fought back in these last 2 games. But I wasn't really convinced that they looked like a better team. But, you know, they put in an effort, and they made it 2 1-goal games after getting demolished in the first game. And they even made it further than I predicted them. I feel like they can be not necessarily proud of where they made it, but they made a statement in this playoffs nonetheless. And there is a bit of takeaway in that. You know, there always has to be a winner, and this time, unfortunately, it was very one-sided. But, you know, big up for them to, you know, fighting back after that first game and almost getting a second one. Or almost getting a game, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely were trying. Like, it was 26 shots in 3 games. That's a big number. You know, on average in 3 games, it's almost 10 shots per game. Not finding the accuracy that they needed, and yeah, ultimately that is a contributing factor. Vortex just making more of those connect. But MVP of the series, deservedly so, going to TJ, making a lot of plays happen, a lot of passes in the midfield, setting up his team really well, and also just on those challenges, really kind of creating space for his team as well, and not really letting Shinjo get any breathing room. I want to say it was a very impressive performance from all 3 of the players, but yeah, TJ there showing through as the MVP. But what a great series. And yeah, you were correct. Rio to Vortex.
I don't know how I pulled the rabbit out of the hat today. I have been so bad on predictions all season, but somehow I hit the nail right on the money twice in a row. And well, they say lightning doesn't strike the same place twice. I feel like it has today, and there's a bit of takeaway in that. But yeah, is there anything you want to state about this series? Because I feel like everything I wanted to say, I kind of got to say during the series.
Me too. I think it was very, very clear. You know, we're looking through a glass window at that series. It was very obvious for me what went wrong, what went correct. And yeah, I think it's just textbook from Vortex, really. So doing really well for me. But that is the end for that one. Just looking to see it the next game for the mainstream. It's going to be 20 Rocketeers versus Continuum. In the upper final, it's going to be a best of 7, that one. And yeah, I'm going to be leaving you veiled for the B stream. I think that's your last cast. Who have we got coming up next? Let's just have a quick peek.
Oh, you have a little look.
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
Oh yeah, it's Mr. Poggy and Cheap who are going to be joining you for that next series. But for me and Veiled, unless there's anything else you want to add, it's going to be goodbye until that next series in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, I just want to say that yeah, this is me done for the night, I believe. But it's been a pleasure being part of this rival stream, and I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be rooting for Continuum to the rest of to the end of the night. And yeah, good luck to every single rival team still in the competition. I will be watching from the sidelines and rooting for Continuum because I have them going all the way. That's it for me.
Do you struggle to rank up in Rocket League? Are you stuck in Diamond while your other friends flex their SSL title? Well, look no further. I have partnered up with LTXAcademy as a coach, and we are ready to boost your gameplay. With multiple tournaments and trophies won and thousands of dollars earned, I will tailor to your needs and make sure you get to that next level. I'm also doing discounted prices for the first 10 days, so you do not want to miss out. And you are also probably thinking,
CMOS, how do I book a session with you?
well, that's easy. Just open up that fancy browser of yours, type metafy.gg/@cmasorl_, pick a session to your liking, book a time, and bang, you're booked, and I'll see you in the call. Once again, that's metafy.gg/@cmasorl_.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
I see you there, and my heart goes blind. When I see you there, and my heart goes blind. It's like clockwork, how it always ends. Bite my tongue, 'cause I have to pretend. Buried all my feelings, find them in a coffin where there's no space for healing or letting you in. Round and round is all we ever go. We can't call this love, but it's all we've ever known. Back and forth is all we have control. We can't call this love. so safe back then. Be honest, you live in your own circle.
do some archbishop. Been a school them from when me in a car shot. Liverpool couldn't test the way me raw sit up. Quick draw, him drop and can't get up. Him not fast enough for my problem that you never solve. Send for the Dan brace for a firestorm, cause I turn into a monster. Ready for the war, better with your flag. None of them boy, they no bad. None of them boy, they no bad. Bad pants in over to some archbishop. Them no bad. School them from me in a Turkish. Them no bad. School couldn't test the way me raw sit up. Drop and can't lift up. No fast enough for my problem that you never solve. Send for the brand race for a firestorm, cause I turn into a monster. Ready for the war. Wake up with your food. None of them boy, they no bad. Road touching it when me walk, left a mark, young gog on a regular. We say them hardly ready, them a new type of artillery. We a bus and a Tom and Jerry. Out the blue I hit you with an airstrike. They not bad like me air Nikes, it's a rare sight, yeah. Steady aim with precision, equal vision with a clear sight. Better go get your face right. Them boy, they no bad, they no bad. None of them boy, they no bad. Road back, live in my bar. If you mark, them no bad. No regular. Me see them hard, them no bad. Me a new type of artillery. I am bust, I no Tom and Jerry. Out the blue, hit you with a airstrike. No bad, me air nice. Clear sight. Steady aim, them no bad. And it's the vision with a clear sight. Better to get your fit. Them boy, they no bad.
Do you struggle to rank up in Rocket League? Are you stuck in Diamond while your other friends flex their SSL title? Well, look no further. I have partnered up with LTXAcademy as a coach, and we are ready to boost your gameplay. With multiple tournaments and trophies won and thousands of dollars earned, I will tailor to your needs and make sure you get to that next level. I'm also doing discounted prices for the first 10 days, so you do not want to miss out. And you are also probably thinking,
CMOS, how do I book a session with you?
well, that's easy. Just open up that fancy browser of yours, type metafy.gg/@cmasorl_, pick a session to your liking, book a time, and bang, you're booked, and I'll see you in the call. Once again, that's metafy.gg/@cmasorl_.
This isn't just merch, it's what teams wear when they mean business. Every stitch, every print, every detail, made to perform. Trusted by the grind, from grassroots to championship halls. Build your team store. Wear the brand that wins. SpartanWare, trusted by the grind.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RSC. It is, of course, the rival playoffs itself. You've joined us on to the main stream itself. But before we go any further as well, first of all, Beatmanship, how are you?
Yeah, I'm alright. It's going to be a long night for rival, I reckon. You've already seen sweep after sweep, so I'm not going to be surprised if another one happens there. I'll be real. You've got. From what I've been told, if I don't go a certain way for a prediction, it's stupid. But yeah, we'll roll with it. But anyway, so far tonight, as I've said, we've had out of 6 series, we've had 4 sweeps. So it's been a tense one, obviously, as you can tell. But looking into the top 4, is there anybody you've got your eye on, Danny?
No.
Yeah, fair enough.
Usually at this point here, people are going, I hate working with Danny. You can see why here. As you can see on your brackets here, I did do a viewing stream alongside Sat2 with the Journeyman and, Team Serene's Shinjuru 3-2 actually being the closest so far at your bottom left and lower. You would have thought one of them would have made a deep run. That hasn't happened. DSQ's roster been the top of anything of rival. Should have been here and doing it. They've been knocked out. That's a surprise. So the fact is here, many of the sort of the top end predictions or looks and that is when they're the window here. I mean, even Dexterity's lineup not even in playoffs here. That's a surprise here. So to sit here and say what we have got in terms of an idea or what it is, to the most part, no. Continuum probably on paper here is the outright favourites due to the fact is they've got their roster sorted just before a roster lock. It's just a question as well, the 4-time Tizok over in the B stream able to get himself into that grand final. That's the sort of the situation scenario that we find ourselves in.
Yeah, I mean, I've been told as well that Tizok, up until this point, as a roster as Tizok in 3 separate seasons, they've never lost a playoff series, which seems a little bit broken for a team, but maybe it just shows how much Move especially knows how to be a winner, I suppose, because he's been in all 3 of those rosters, and as you said as well, Continuum, I've faced him, and when Zo2's peaking, it's over, I'll be honest with you, because, yeah, he's just a little bit good. to keep it simply, and you need someone to carry conflict at the end of the day. So he seems to be that guy. You've got Sammy Boy as well on that side, but 20R, I know we've not really gone over them. Ease God, Killer, Jameso, but I think that's just because from what I've heard from everybody else, it's really Momentum's game to lose.
Well, we may as well go to the Talon's predictions at this point because we're roughly a few minutes just short from the kickoff here. You sat there and said about in terms of, it's Momentum's to lose here. I mean, the way that Momentum has genuinely been so far in terms of what has occurred, I'll put it this way here: if they don't sweep the grand final, it's a disappointing evening for them. They have to get there, obviously. Here, it's a question on how much does 20R put up in resistance.
Oh yeah, best of 7. Yeah, 4-0 it. 4-0. Just change the prediction at 4-0. Sure thing. Anyway, yeah, as you were saying, unless we've got a situation like yesterday, in that being the entire grand finals gets postponed because Epic goes down, then yeah, I see absolutely no reason why the team can't beat
everything's decided on rock, paper, scissors.
It does seem that way as well, like especially when I got challenged by a certain Academy player plenty of times on and off stream who just wanted a rematch after I kept beating him. So that was definitely a fun one. That seemed to be the most entertainment out of what was a bit of a mess of the Charlie Grand Final. But that was yesterday's, and today we've got, hopefully, although not expectedly, a bit less of a one-sided affair. But we may have to wait and see for that because, as far as I know, we still don't have a single player in the lobby. So a little bit more waffling from us. I don't really know what else we could go to now. Have we gone to talent predictions yet?
Well, what we could do here while we're waiting for the players, and everybody has ran away when they heard that I'm subbing in. Everybody's been fast and quick. It's been laughing. Danny's doing casting. Oh dear, let's not go on to the broadcast here. Shatter, could we, if possible, move towards the entire talent pool's predictions, the likes of Archeon, Satu, and all them, because we might as well briefly talk about it. Because Mox, Archeon, for the first time, by the way, will not have a top 4 prediction outright due to Team Shireen faltering or bottling their way so far here. Even yourself, Beat Sheep, so far had backed them up until that point.
Yeah.
Arguably with the most experienced lineup and roster, I'll be frank with you and sit there and say this here, will be a massive disappointment throughout the 3 lads there, their sub and management will be looking at and sort of going, we could have maybe got their second franchise win here this evening.
Yeah, it does feel like a slight disappointment if you are Shinjiro, because from when we played them both times in regular season, they looked absolutely on top of it. To almost everyone else but Vortex in league play, they looked absolutely on top of it every single time. 45 wins out of the 72, just lost top spot to guess who, Vortex, who also has just swept them out of the competition. So maybe it's just a TJ having the entire number of a bunch of ex-master players, much to the dismay of Serena and much to the dismay of many people's predictions. But either way, you've still got a fair couple in there who do seem to be backing a certain top 3. I'm going to note Veiled especially. That Continuum v Tears Up final looks like a belter of a prediction. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see either way, as we've got one team in now. But I suppose I noticed that you're not on there. So if you could make a top 4 right now, what would it be?
I won't.
Yeah, I rate it. Yeah.
Sorry, but I mean, I was playing for a part of the rival season, and frankly, if I was playing, I would be backing myself to win it. But since I'm not playing, not going to sit there and bother. Others, however, at chat, feel free to have your say as well. Discord is the link down below where many, of course, in the rival discussions having their particular say here. What I will sit here, the last time I was in a lobby, so to speak, with conflict on it, knocked the Team Shireen at its time. That was an elite, mind you, when that was the original lineup. Sat there and beat Team Shireen 3-2 in an OT. That one, I've never heard the end of it since then. So hence for conflict here to be in a situation that he has to go even further than before, I think he would be looking forward to it.
Yeah, you'd hope so if you're Conflict. I've seen it's a bit of a fall from grace for him, but we do have both teams ready at long last, and I think it's about time that we get into this series. Oh, never mind. We've got 2 more minutes to wait. That's fine. We've got a bit more waffling to go through, but I don't think we're missing much to talk about here. I think we have just exhausted pretty much everything. So unless you've got anything to add, I've not really got much else to say myself pre-series.
Did you have a nice dinner?
I did have a nice dinner actually. I had what was it? Sausage pasta. I ran out of everything because I've not had time to go shopping earlier. So that was definitely a fun one. Just making stuff up, throwing stuff in the pan, and just going from there.
Yeah, fair enough. I was sat there talking about Satu. RSC used to do the meal deal tweets. I haven't seen one of them in ages at the moment. So, I'm a bit surprised on that one, and by the looks of it as well, too, if anybody is interested, it should be DC and Azteka's lineup is about to start over on the B stream as well. I'm sure the link will be dropped in the Twitch chat before here. We are quite literally waiting here to see where things are, and by the looks of it, the players are ready to get this one going.
At long last, we've got everybody in. Everyone's ready, and let's see. Well, we've just talked about dinner, but let's see if any of these teams can make a meal out of this series. Let's see how we're going to start. We've got no strategy on the kickoff. Everyone's just going bog standard to begin it. Sammy Boy with dribble number 1, he's just going to get it taken off him by Eastgod. He ended up just passing it to him there. As at the end of the day, this is rival gameplay, so it's not going to be the most intricate thing in the world, as shown there. As 14 seconds in, the continuing defense is nowhere to be found, and 20 are of the lead.
And just like that there, one loose touch and it just goes wildly across here. The rival tier so far, at least in terms of witnessing all the streams has been produced here, double commits has occurred far too easily, far too cheaply. And for both sides, they would need to settle down. And this is meant to be the two of the best as it stands here in Conflict. Not able to bury that one home.
As you're saying, with the fact it's meant to be two of the best, the gameplay's showing anything but right now, with all these misses coming through from both sides. I know that you are trying to find your footing in the series, but maybe hitting the ball would be a good start. Conflict with the ceiling, that's going to be a double commit on defense, as is a bit awkward. Zotu's looking for the middle, ends up doing a three-way turn as James O beats one, beats two, but loses to that third with no boost. And once again, that goal is open. We've got a common theme here so far. The defense is gone, and the goal's open once again.
Just like that there, bumped, moved, gets this one away. I do find it hilarious. I believe it was Sohu from actually the Momentum roster of Continuum literally ran into me and ranked, won't actually name who he was playing with because it would be an interesting surprise when I saw that one. Beat me in the 2v2 here, so I'm not quite happy with him at the moment.
You say Sato?
No,
Zotu. Right.
There was a Z somewhere, it looked like an S.
Somewhere or other. Now they just sound too similar. Can one of you just change your name just to make it a lot easier? Oh, never mind. Defense has made it a lot easier, but Conflict's a striker. So just to make it really entertaining, he's decided to completely butcher that one. Sammy Boy up, beaten by Ez. And Zotu, the guy I pointed out, who is probably the most expected, at least from my point of view, to be peaking, and the one that if he does, it's over. Doesn't seem to be doing much so far, just sitting on that 30 points, 2 minutes in as well. It's not really the dream start that you're looking for in the upper final, as it seems like, I know we're only in game 1, but both teams are crawling their way to the win. It's about what you'd expect from a scrappy game of 1-1, not much happening, 5 shots in total, almost at the halfway mark. Conflict striker yet again. Sammy Boy redirects. That's a beautiful one, actually, and that just gives Continuum the lead.
Yeah, you were set there in the sort of the situation, and sort of this moment as an upper final. You just want to get at least one goal on the board here, no matter whether it's in the 5-minute mark or the opening seconds, just to settle the nerves, and that should be no longer the issue. That goal, as you said, beautiful as it gets delivered. Question really at that point for both sides, more so on 20 hours here, can you settle down and get that rotation on point? If not here, and suddenly 2-1 might become 3-1, 4-1 as quickly as it came.
Yeah, 20 are. Since getting that first open goal, they haven't really had much to offer on the board. JamesO trying to change that, trying to keep that in the black half as it stands. But Conflict's just going to beat one. Zotu's going to stay on that board just to make Killer awkward. And you're like, if they could get some sort of attack going, because they've had 2 shots in 3 minutes, which, nightmare. If you're a team that's guaranteed top 3, it doesn't really look like, you don't really look like a team that's going to make it any further. But EaseGod can't quite get on the end of that. They've left that defense. They've left JamesO in a 3-on-1 now. No one's going to look for the demo, though. That may have been a play you could sort of look for there, because I reckon if they did find a demo there, they would have absolutely scored.
No demo, but Chancelleys for one side. Just a question on can it be delivered or not here. Back it goes for 20R. Straight to the backboard, mind you, here tipped away comfortably by Sammy Boy. What will be intriguing, you talk about shots being put on target as much as it can be, it's the quality of them as well. None of them sit there to be piercing or right through, or at least towards a teammate's ability to follow up here. Very much individualism at its best here.
Yeah, no one's really dropped a cannon of a shot yet. Everyone's just seems to be booming it. As soon as he gets somewhat near the goal, it's sort of see it and hit it. And if there's a keeper there, that's a big shame. Because the threat, besides that one play from Sammy Boy, has been virtually non-existent. The team bumps are getting going now. And you really wouldn't think this is rival, would you? With the amount of self-sabotage that's going on.
Well, could be worse.
I suppose so anyway. But 2-2 now. You've had 3 out of the 4 goals that have been pretty much of the same cause. 3 complete gifts. 1 team bump and 2 open nets. It can't really go much worse if you're either side, but at the very least, no one's losing. So take that as a positive if you're either team right now. EaseGod's just going to leave that for JamesO. He's going to go wide with it. That's going to bounce up. Sammy Boy's first to meet. He's going to look for the reset, but doesn't quite find it. Just gets the drift, though, as well. Goes middle, looks for a teammate. Conflict's going to be up, but EaseGod's there to beat him. Killer looking for the follow. He's got JamesO in support. JamesO looking for that demo. And that is the first sign of a good play from 20R, who have their lead back.
And just like that there, you just want to see something that, gives you that sense of belief or hope to deliver. And the fact is, if a Continuum's sort of positioning was split wide open, the second and third man gap was just essentially, almost just a chasm. You can't afford to sort of let that sort of space moves across here, but is that what we've been expecting so far in the opening game? Somewhat, yes, here. But just at the sense of it, if you're going to have a side to come back from any form of the deficit, Continuum should be it off the back wall. Ding it goes. And Conflict has an opportunity to set a teammate up here.
But no one ends up being set up after all that. And we're back towards Boomer Ball in the final 10. 20 are still with the lead. So it's a little bit of effort required here from Continuum, who can't seem to get out of their half. 20 are just looking to kill the game off. EaseGod with a fake, leaves it for JamesO, looks for the finisher. And that's game number 1, said and done. 20 are with first blood in the series.
And you know what? You probably wouldn't expect that coming into it. You would have sat here in terms of the build-up, thought momentum, the Continuum lineup should be at least that side that should dictate the series. Now, as anybody knows me well enough here, I don't like using statistics going into playoffs. It doesn't matter. You're comparing a league play format over a time where you can rest, reset, whether you want to look at a replay and try to understand the game. Playoffs is about instinct, and yet 20R seems to be more coherent in terms of listening to their ability at the moment.
Yeah, especially in defense as well, because Continuum, although they had a couple of good chances on that attack, it just seemed like at the other end, they were just letting 20R open the door too often. And yeah, I mean, I'm already completely wrong with what I've been saying, because momentum completely bigged up, and that has not been the case so far. Maybe it is just due to a slow start, or maybe it's just as you're saying. Because the difference is, in playoffs, if you're not at the races, you're out. If it's in league play, it's not the end of the world. You can just regain or force a draw or something. That is no longer the case. You can't be doing that anymore. It's a completely different ball game. And if Continuum don't get going, then they will find it difficult. But at the same time, with the addition of the upper finals now being best of 7, it just does give them a bit of an extra lifeline to take into the rest of the series.
Certainly is, and the other element of the fact of a day like this as well, you're not just playing one series, you're either playing comfortably between 3 to 5, maybe 7 if you're going from the play-in straight to playoff to get into a scenario where you're in a grand final. These teams sort of had the sense of, right, we've had our scrim, we've had our series, we've waited a bit, and now we're back into it. So yes, somewhat a slow start. Expected, yes, but you can't afford to give that. Yes, the best 7 will allow that. But, you know, how many times can you sit there and give, you know, a sense of a reason or an excuse? There's a fine line between the two. Both of them knows that.
Yeah, both of them do, and 20R are taking this early series now as theirs. They've made their claim that they are going to be that team on the board early on, and they've still got all this momentum as well, ironically, against momentum. Jameso just faking that out as well now. He's got going forward, but gets beat by Conflict. And since Sammy Boy's moment of magic, 20R do seem to just be all over the field right now. It's a good demo on the line, but Zotu managed to make the save all the way back there. He's going to take it slow with 100 boost to work with. He knows he can waste a little bit more time. Zotu's on low. He can't really go fully for that, but Sammy Boy can. He's going to beat 1. And is anyone there to follow? No, because Killer is just taking the attack away and not giving momentum any chance.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how the game adapts. Yeah, I mean, arguably 2 of the most defensive teams and arguably the best counteracting teams have been eliminated here. I mean, Berserkers as well as DSQ, they will sit there and wait and hit them onto the bounce here. Where, you know, 20R, we're sitting here saying trying to swarm and put across here, not caring too much. But, you know, at what stage here do you have that opportunity and, you know, deliver that decisive blow here? Both of them haven't really put a shot on target where you sat there and said, I'm actually a bit scared here.
Yeah, well, 20R especially in terms of defense, they've not really had any sort of fear factor to go up against. It's been a leisurely walk in the park for them. However, on the other hand, this could be the case for Continuum as well if they can get a defense in check. But with that bump on the last man and with Zotu just following a bit too closely, it's just a bit too easy once again for 20R to take advantage of them.
Just like that, 1-0. Just as much as we could sit here and break the game down, blink and a goal sometimes may appear here. Conflict to trying to reduce the deficit back to evens itself here, and that's a large turning surface there essentially, and frankly, Conflict might feel like, you know, a bit of boost here. That chance could have been his here. And you know what? That's... What, 2 seasons ago, I was remember sitting in the VC alongside my team here and sat there and saying, when will we get the chance? Will you actually decide to shake something up here? And sometimes you got to trust your players to do that here. Does Conflict and his team trust each other at the moment? The way they've been playing here, very much not the case here.
They do seem to just be being a little too... Yeah, it's more so like 3 individuals rather than a team right now, because everyone seems to have their own plan. They're not on the same page, but they're not even reading the same book at the minute, because 20R are taking full advantage of this. It's like, it's a beehive against a bunch of crawling babies, it feels like. The one team knows exactly what they're doing, the other, not a clue, because the team that we have so hyped up finds themselves being, I wouldn't say dominated, but definitely taken advantage of early on, unless Zotu can equalise. But no, the bumps are coming through again. 20R, they've absolutely figured out the blueprint that Momentum have, and as soon as the team does get into a good rotation plan, they just get bumped off it.
I'm trying to work out where you go for your analogies with alongside the crawling babies and a swarm of bees.
It's the first.
Where have you ever seen that before? I'd rather take the bees, to be honest with you, be quieter. But speaking about being quiet, Conflict wants to silence a few people here.
Yeah, he's made himself loud at long last. It's only taken him 9 in-game minutes to find himself on the board. Maybe that's a sign of things to come, if you are Continuum. They've heard what could be the most questionable dreamlike analogy you've ever seen, and they've decided to concede from it, because instantly off the kickoff, Killer takes another lead for 20R.
Do you know what? You may be wrong with your prediction.
Yeah, just a little.
Just a little. You should be more like me. That's a
Put no
bad
thanks
idea.
on
Just
it,
don't
yeah.
bother. Ask somebody else. But you know what? Here, as much as the season sort of goes on by here, they get into the situation. I mean, we've sat here talked into the green room about our records, and let's just say they're not particularly great, to be fair here. But they get to the final themselves here. The players themselves want to be there, and I don't want to be the typical Roy King here, but where's the passion? Where's the sort of the fight for it?
I know it is only game 2 as well, but where you're coming from, there's no fire in anyone's bellies yet. No one is acting like this is upper finals. Grands is on the line for either of you, and yeah, unless they want either of our records in said finals, they need a bit more in this because they have been close games, to be honest with you, but they've not really been exciting, to be real. I don't know if you've thought any different, but it's just felt a bit like there's a bit too many misplays rather than anything hugely outplayish. That I can't really say we've had a star player so far.
The way I would describe it, it's like a stop and start type game. To the point here where somebody's got a handbrake, and speaking about that, where we'll be going to a full stop here, continuing or taking their time out. And you know what? They arguably need to have that timeout. So full 2 minutes on it gives us more time to talk about that sort of type of analogy. Due to the fact is, how many times, the way I sort of described the sort of the start and stop type games is, you hit the ball and everything just stops, and then it goes again, then it stops, and it goes again, then it stops, and you can't do that because RWA's very much a fluid-based game. If you're going to stop and start here, you're trying to catch somebody out, not play essentially like it's Subbuteo. You're just flicking your man across the build here, and suddenly you're hoping it lands into the wee pocket.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna put it in terms of driving, because it's a car-based game, I'd say they're genuinely playing like a bunch of learners right now. Like they're too nervous to make a mistake in front of whoever it is that's trying to assess them. Everyone's all too cautious. It's all too slow, and it's just make one move, hang on, gear down, handbrake on. We're gonna play slow again, and that just seems to be the case so far. Because no one's got any significant pace going. It's like, well, that's the only way I can really put it. There's been no pace.
Certainly so. And Joe, because this is the first time been on stream here, full credit here to Shattered with his timer. I know some other casters will not care or sit there and complain about method here, but the fact that it's up there, it's wonderful to see. But the fact that there is no essentially pace into the game. It's the question you've got to ask yourself is actually twofold. How do you put pace into the game, or how do you nullify your opposition? The fact is that they're moving across here. The fact that one of the lads are just going straight into the game here. Normally I would stop them. Well, actually I wouldn't here. They want to go straight into it.
They know it's...
Normally I would, give them, just go straight into it. Sorry, them are the rules.
Been told way too many times in a situation like this. You can't really stop it too early. I don't think anybody on the field ended up reading that. But conflict, yeah, fair enough. But at the same time...
Sorry, I'm just going to cut in here. You may be not inexperienced, my apologies, and that's the more experienced bit of it. The broadcaster sends the rules out. We've been told that you have the full 2 minutes of wait and you can't skip it. If you want to tell me that I'm wrong, feel free to do it in DMs. Not middle of the broadcast, by the way. People might say, oh, there's Donny again, going off his rocker, setting off on one. Sorry. You might be let off on that. I do it with the rules, what's been said here. So we're waiting for the minute here, because that's what the rule says. Normally I'm happy to let it run and get it off it, but not today. This is the grand final. We've seen too many things, or the upper final. So essentially we're going to do it properly. Sorry, lads.
That's how it works. That's how it works for this lot. I mean, apparently it's happened twice before, but at the same time, you got to follow it because it's 2 minutes for both teams at the end of the day. And that 2 minutes has finally gone out. So second time lucky, lads. Don't forget that it is the full 2. And it's time for game 3, where Continuum are due a bit of a wake up. So the first goal would be crucial if they can get it.
Yeah, and you know what? To
dear.
some extent here, and there's that the miss it. I'm just going to be frank here. If you're a coach or in that move, and as 20R gets it 1 goal straight in here. If you're a coach here and you know the rules is you have 2 minutes, you're waiting patiently. The opposition is sitting there waiting. Well, we've got 2 minutes here. Let's talk. Let's break it down just as much as well too. Now, with respectfully so here, you've just sat there and said after a minute, we're ready to play, move across here, your positioning's not ready, and you've just conceded. Now, you might sit there and say, well, the broadcast stopped it. Sorry, no. You know the rules, you know what should be happening, and move across here. Sorry, I'm just, at this point here, I'm just too old school. I'm not prepared to give too much excuses. Other casters may do. I'm too much, 2015 SARP days, but either way off it is, you're now playing 2-0 down in the series. You're 1-0 down in game 3. As I sat there said, you need passion, you need to put the game in, you need to start asking questions of the oppositions. And so far here, since they've conceded, it's been the closest they've been doing it so far.
Yeah, they finally woke up after what was a botch timeout from them. I was about to say there's your equaliser, then I remembered it was Conflicts on the ball. So the rebound's going to find the net anyway. That's 1-1. And yeah, mate, you do need someone to find, because as Conflict said in the chat, this happened twice before. Maybe those other 2 times just shouldn't have happened. Maybe you did need someone as well to just put it down before it sort of happened, before any sort of habits are developed. But now, after all that's gone out the way, after they have had the full 2 minutes in which half of it was spent and the other half was spent conceding, they've got their equaliser a minute in. They're trying to, maybe a bit of change of game plan to stop 20R from whatever bump plays were happening as well. Last game, Sammy Boy's going to get a touch but get beat by Killer. He's got looking for the boom as well. Zotu's going to be low on boost, but he knows that's over. He's just going to take his time with it. James O meets the touch up in the air. Going to leave it to a teammate now as he is awkward himself, but that's just going to go straight into the black half. Killer misses the touch. Sammy Boy with a comfortable clear. Zotu there to follow. Convict's going to be on the ball unless Killer has something to say about it. Not quite, but now there's a bit of low boost on the side of Continuum. So unless you're Sammy, unless they've got anything significant to offer, they might need to start buying time, because if 20R can get boost control again, I have the feeling they can repeat exactly what they've done early series.
Certainly so, and what could be certainly happening here. Blocked it goes, and Sammy, to be fair, that's a great save under the circumstances. Why are you driving backwards? Normally I don't mind as much, but just get out here. Conflict had boost and the ability maybe to go into the play here. But speaking about into play here, so far 2-0 up in the series over on the B stream with Azteca leading game 3. So by likelihood, that will be who the loser of this match will be facing off shortly here.
I'd love to point out with Azteca as well, they've not dropped a game all day as of yet. For some reason, they've found some sort of stupid form and they're going ham right now. And if I'm any of these teams in this game, I would be nervous because, what is likely to be Continuum, I would be very nervous because you've got, that was a stupid flick as well. You've got a team that doesn't seem to be in it, even post timeout, against arguably the most informed team in Rival, because as much as we can credit 20R, the fact that they are still in the uppers, Azteca never started there to begin with. So it'd be difficult to tell really, but from the way we've seen 20R, they've had the better of the 2 teams, but that's only because the only team to be bettering here is Continuum, and that doesn't seem like a hard task.
It doesn't. The worst thing is when you sort of sit there and go into the series like this is how good your preparation. As much as you sort of sit there and say it now, the Academy and Prospect have less time than any other team here. But the fact is, what Team Shireen went through the bracket through the full reset here, 14 games, second time it's ever happened. I was there for the first ever back. I think it was the Prem game back in season 13, season 14, give or take.
Is that Hosky?
And it would have been the Hosky bunch, I think. And you know what? This would have to be simply, you have to look at and sit there and say, what are you developing? What are you, putting across it? The lads were ready and prepared to do the distance. That's what you've got to go into a series prepared to know. If you're playing a best of 7, how do you take and approach the game?
Another thing to point out, yeah, adaptability, because as it goes on, this is a lengthy series, and as you go on, most teams as well, every single good team will be prepared to change the way they are mid-series. So, although right now, I suppose Continuum haven't had much, 20R will have to be prepared if there is going to be something happening in terms of change from Continuum, because we've seen them more eager than they have been in the past. If they can take this game, they'll certainly be in it. But yeah, 20R, I've got to be careful now, because there's getting some shots on the board, and although if you do win this, you will be on quadruple match point, from what we've learned in RSC this season, in these playoffs, that's not safe. We've had 2 separate occasions now, with best of 7 reverse sweeps, 1 in Academy, 1 in Prospect. So, although 20R would love to close this game, they also need to remember, if you do win this now, it's not over, and you need to stay just as alert in Game 4 as you will have in Game 1.
Yeah, and that's sometimes the sort of the biggest question, and I don't want to sit here and be the pessimist, shall we say here, but if you do get swept or beat 4-1 in a upper final, and you do the bracket run, essentially get yourself into that situation for the rematch, and as that shot does go in here to reduce my point here, what I was about to say is you've got to have that sort of sense of the opposition, know that you can beat them. That goal's massive now.
That's gigantic if you're Momentum, because yeah, as you're on about with the proof that we can beat you, that's what Continuum have finally done. They've finally got their first game on the board. Again, a little bit of a scrappy one. It just seems like both teams are a little bit slow even still. But what matters is now you're waking up. Now Sammy Boy especially has got, I think that's his second goal of the series, but it's the first game winner for anybody on Continuum. And maybe they can get themselves running now. Maybe that one win was just their springboard for any sort of thing we're going to see from them. But that start of the game was still a little bit shaky from them. Maybe it was just the post timeout of it all. But they do still need to start games better, especially.
It's not even just a question of playing better. Yeah, and this may sound sort of counteractive even to the points that we've somewhat been making. It's learning how to be consistent. Raise your floor. Because if you keep sort of slipping back here after, let's say they lose this game going in, there's now 3-1 down here, after working hard to get yourself back into it, you've got to ask yourself, what was the effort for? It's no longer now playing better, it's raising now the standard. That's how important this game is for Momentum's sake, more than 20 hours.
Yeah, if they do lose this game, at the end of the day though, you see the amount of teams that lose, they're in this position and they lose for 3-1 and their heads have gone, and then that final game is just a whitewash. If Momentum do lose this game, then it's not going to be the end of the world. You take it on the chin. If you have raised your floor, then yeah, just firm it, because you will still be in there. Maybe it could have just been a fluke game, but you've given it a go, and that's what they seem to be doing now. They're a lot more hungry than they have been early on. Eastgod's going to end up whiffing that as well. He's going to try and beat one, just make it awkward in the middle. James is going to be waiting there for the shot. That's a huge gem on the back line. Sammy Boy there to meet Killer. Stop anything before it gets all too dangerous, but Eastgod's just waiting. Ends up getting beat by Sammy Boy. That's back in the purple half. James O looking for the next attack. He's on 0, beats 1, but nothing much really comes from it. And a minute in, no one said... There has been threats. There has been... Well... could I say more threat than we've had so far in the series, which hasn't been difficult, because Momentum may have the first goal if Zotu is very careful with the 50, and he is. And now, it seems like Continuum do finally want it. They've raised their floor, as you've been saying, and they're certainly back in the series.
Certainly so. It's nice to see it on stream as well too, that particular goal, and what will certainly be as the follow-up attack as well. DCE eliminated 3-0 by Azteca's hand, and that's goal number 2 by Conflict. I talk about raising the floor, talk about the standard. You've got to show in an upper final why you are here. This is the element that they've got to play from now.
They can't afford to be slipping from this, because we saw glimpses of what they could potentially do in the goals that they scored in some of the games that they lost, but straight after that, they just decided to throw it all away with a really suspect defense, and they're going to hope that's not going to happen again. However, it seems like 20R is now having a suspect attack. So if Momentum can take full advantage of that, well, they can. Unless, well, Killer is just going to completely shut me up. 20R may be awake, and Killer's finally that first one to put a proper shot on the board.
And this is somewhat hinting towards sort of the upper final type matchup that we all expected to some degree. You know, both sides really showing that sort of instinct that sort of gets them into that position and say, right, we are here. There's no point in sort of cowering away and somewhat, you know, we'll take our chance, you know, 1 minute left in this sort of the game when you'll have, you know, particular 20 options here. You only need 1 or 2, and when you do have it, slot it home. They have done that this time around here, which we have yet to see in the opening 3 at the series.
Yeah, Killer especially now. He seems to be having his shooting boots on. He did just drop another one on the goal, but there was 2 keepers in there that time. But yeah, it is finally feeling like it's not an opening round play-in match anymore. It's finally feeling like after 3.5 games, both teams have realised that there is a lot, in fact, on the line this game, and they need to be at their best because, well, if you win, you're in grands, and if you lose, you've got Tizoc to deal with. So, regardless of win or lose here, you've got to be on form either way. There's Zo2 trying a high shot there. That's just going to get blocked by James. 20R are going to go on the attack now, unless Conflict is just going to clear that into the purple half. James ends up going straight back to Conflict. That's just a little bit of panic there. On 0 boost, Sammy Boy is just going to take it slow. Get beat by EaseGod, but that's not going to go all too far. EaseGod on 0. He's just going to look for some distraction now. Killer with a bump down. Killer with a shot down, I should say. And all of a sudden, we're tied up at half-time.
Just like that there, Leeds just disappeared right away here. You know what, I'm trying to remember, was it the Prospect final where I don't think it was Serene, their opposition was 3-0 up and suddenly let goals in here. It has an element of sort of that side of it here, and you know, if you're playing Azteca here, whoever loses this side, they've got all the momentum, they've got all the ability, and they've got somebody hungry for the first ever 4-time champion. You don't want to give them a sort of a sniff of an opportunity. Any lead drop, not good enough. You just leave that door wide open here, and as much as Continuum now have, you know, just make sure you don't concede the third one now.
Yeah, there's a little bit of panic that seems to be setting in. Sammy Boy slow shot. I think back there as well, Conflict, when he did take that off Sammy Boy, I do feel like Sammy had a bit of a better angle, so maybe it's just a slight little bit of miscom. Maybe it's something to do with the stakes, maybe it's just something to do with the fact of how they're playing today. Although they did win their last game against Caligo, it might just be a case of finally something is kicking in, the fact that you're nearing the end of Rival itself. But it stays 2-2. No one's made any significant slip-ups yet, but also no one's made any significant outplays yet. As a demo comes in from Sammy Boy, he's looking for the man number 2 as well. Zotu's going to try and go low again, but this time Killer does end up reading the low 50. That's something that Zotu does seem to have tried many times. It has worked once, but keep repeating it, and it's not going to happen again. He's got maybe with a moment of magic. That's not going to happen. Killer with a follow-up. Conflict with a good save. There's going to be a late follow from James though, but Conflict gobbles that one up. He's going to look for the man in the middle now, which is not going to happen. EaseGod just booms it to Sammy, booms it into the middle. You've got a little bit of boomer ball while all teams are just trying to re-grab boosts. There's no one's there for the follow. And there's a bit of franticness in the air now in this final minute, because this game is huge for either team.
Don't want to be the reason why they lose it either here, and Sammy forces a third man at the halfway line. And that's unfortunately not ideal here. Conflict will have options in terms of a pass and play. Stifled on out. Sammy's done well to hold it. Up it goes. Should be. At least a potential play to the backboard. Will get there.
Oh.
Continuum has essentially let that one slip out of their hands. They might not get a better chance in regulation.
It's an unlucky second touch from Zotu, but if it does seem like that is going to happen off the bounce, just get out of the way, because that was going to be a drop down. That was going to be huge if there was a man on the end of that, because it seemed like a lot of the defense was out of the way. Sammy Boy with a boom, that's just going to go just wide, but maybe they've got another chance in them yet before overtime. No, Zotu is just going to look to waste it all away, not let anything happen, unless he wants to just go crossfield instead. He's going to try and beat Killer, but that ball is just going to stay up. Sammy Boy misses. Killer's going to try and keep it as well. Conflict just wants overtime, and we will find overtime. I believe that is the first overtime in the series.
It is, and it's sort of not just necessary. We use the word massive sometimes. a bit too much, but especially in terms of the situation that both sides find themselves under, as that one will be tipped away here. 2-2 and 3-1 is a massive sort of difference in perspective, and that one beats to the corner here. Shot, and bang it goes. 3-2. And don't forget, Continue had led in this game twice essentially. They'll let it slip here to go series potentially down.
That is a game to forget now for Continuum. They started off so well. They had the lead for the most part of that game. But now, it's as I was saying at the start, at one, you're just going to have to take it on the chin, because you know if you play like the way you did at the start, you are still in this. You are absolutely still in the series. The scoreline says 3-1, but the important thing is that the scoreline doesn't say 4-1. So there's still a glimmer of hope. If you are Continuum, you have still got those shots off. You have a 12, but they've just not quite been powerful enough. And either that or the creativity just hasn't been there. And there may not be too much to change for them. But certainly need a bit of a reset in terms of how to keep a lead, because they haven't done so once again.
Yeah, and people might sort of sit there and look at either the comments in a negative light here. It's not the case of sitting here and saying, well, this is to the point here. It's like, how do you approach the series here? And that's what Continuum had. They had the OT, not the OT, the timeout. They done that. They got themselves the game when they were essentially on the verge here to go 2-2 here. It's that difference between fine margins in terms of how to get it move across here. And I literally heard this from, let's just say, a friend here. 3v3 should be played like it's a 1v1 essentially. One person always continuing. And back in the day, I just, you sat here and said, you always try to find the path. You always try to find the space to put the ball into somebody. And suddenly now this sort of idea of the game has shifted. Now, what is Continuum's game plan going forward here, or how do you nullify 20R? They can't afford to make one other mistake, because if they do, they drop down, they play Azteca, and to be fair, the way Azteca's been talking and the way we've been looking at them, you would fancy Azteca to win that.
Yeah, and the way they've been playing as well, you'd fancy him to do it without dropping a game, as they've done in 3 separate series so far today. So Momentum just need a way into this yet. Conflict notices the defense is completely out of whack, and after 30 seconds gives Momentum yet another lead. But could this just be the same story as last game? Because if they don't figure out how to keep a lead, this is it. There are no more chances now. You're facing triple match point, and if you don't learn how to keep a lead now, you are going to be down to the lowers.
Well, it's that sort of do or pack it up and do it in the lower side of the bracket. It's not quite over just yet. Sammy, who got the decisive winner no more than about 10 minutes ago here. That's on target. Conflict with low boost, so it should be a 50 at least off it. Does beat the man himself outright. And Sammy will drop back here. Lets the teammate move across. No double. It seems to be the obvious cut right across here. And Sammy's on the opposite side of the pitch where the ball is. So essentially Continuum with a full ball carry if they want to have another attack here.
Starting from their own half, there's not much that's going to come of it. It's 20R more than happy to play 3 men behind the ball, as we've seen them do so often in the series. They're just letting Continuum come to them now. After they have adapted their game style, because I remember at the beginning of this, they were a full attack, full swarm. Now it's just a little bit more patient from them. It's just leave Continuum to come to you and play from there. Killer seems to be doing so now, but ends up getting bumped for his troubles. He's just going to end up giving that to Sammy Boy. Goes into the middle. He finds Conflict. He finds a shot, but he's going to get saved up by Killer. Now James there with 100 boost. Is there a man in the middle to go with? No, he's just going to try and take it solo, but it's just a little bit too fast for him. So he opts to just steal the boost instead to put a little bit of uncertainty now on the side of Continuum. But Zotu going to try another low 50. That's not going to happen this time. Conflict makes them awkward though. That's something we've been seeing more, just making that defense awkward, and that's something that can be crucial because it can throw them out of rotation, but we haven't seen much of that yet.
This is such an element of the game. What are you able to do here? And 20R's been knocking on the doorstep briefly there. So two's up. Sammy should be waiting in an area back to Conflict, and that's a lofty ball where Continue will essentially have to leave that one. Surely Conflict thought otherwise. And Sammy with low boost on the tank here, not able to fire the shots here. And as much as the time goes, down here, ticks on by, you just in the back of your mind have that gut feeling 20R is going to bring this into an OT somehow.
Yeah, they've definitely found their way in towards the latter half of every single game, but they can't find their way in this time, this early on, because that's 2 or 3 shots just completely gonna miss there. James-O is gonna meet that low, and there is a man up in the middle in Easgod, and there you have it. There's your equalizer once again. It seems like every time Continuum have a lead of sorts, there's always gonna be a response to it.
And you just, at this point here, if you're Continuum, you have to sort of simply say at what point, you know, change something or do you not change anything and sort of double down here. What do you do against 20R? To be cliche, that normally I quite hate when commentators do this in the game, say just demo. That hasn't been brought really into the game. The pass and play and through the line hasn't been brought through. It has been very much to the loft playoff. At first real set of pass and play we've seen from Continuum there. Connection not made, and about the looks of things, they've lost possession at the end of it.
The ideas, I suppose, are starting to come through, but that execution isn't there. There's the demos that have been said about, and they haven't really been lacking at all in the series, especially if you are 20R. And I suppose if you really, really wanted to, you could go for them if you Continuum. I just don't see how that would benefit you at this stage, because now that you've found the rhythm into the game, it may just be a bit too late to change it unless you can see this one across the line. They've tried out some of the passing plays as well, but there's just not been enough players on that same wavelength to meet it at the end. Maybe Conflict's got the read here. He's not quite got enough boost to get that second touch. And 20R are just going to start another attack now. Sammy Boy ends up flailing for it. Misses one, misses two, Zotu's out, and now Conflict's in a one-on-one against Killer. He will just about get the better of it, but James-O's there for the follow, and it felt inevitable that 20R will answer back, and they'll answer back heavily, because we've only got a minute left until Continuum face the barrel of the lower bracket.
I don't give much credit as well. Conflict done very well. Didn't even get a save on that one. The two teammates were left them high and dry. And that's our lower bracket you look at. Azteca must be smiling right now. They might consider this, and they might use this words, not my, as a sort of a free bracket, a free run here. Give us to the grand final here. Sort of itching to get right on to it. Continue. If there's a time to wake up here, this is certainly now. And it has to start through Conflict here. One touch. And that one will be left away here. And Sammy will drop all the way back here, straight on down here. And, you know, when you've got two defenders, you're not going to be scoring that easily.
It also has to start with just getting a little bit of boost on the board, because as you said with the two defenders, it's hard enough as it is. But if you're on 0 and you can't find anything else to offer, it's especially difficult, because now they're still low. They've had to just take it back completely. The swarm is coming back into play. Sammy Boy with the clear. Killer's just immediately chasing that out, looking to beat man number 1. But in doing so, he's ended up leaving the goal open. We may well have another overtime on our hands.
Last time we were into that OT, 20R nicked at 3-2. But don't forget the winner was once again Sammy. Got the only so far win on Continuum's right side on the board. As you can see on the top of the screens, 5 seconds in regulation. And that's poor from a kickoff. That is diabolical. They've let that one slip through their fingertips.
Would you believe it? After fighting hard enough to find that equaliser, they've just completely let themselves go. And 20R, again, back-to-back kickoffs, have just seen them out in what could be described as a lesson, if you Continuum.
It's not necessarily just a lesson. To be frank here, to lose that in the way they have here, you sometimes lose the series, you know, earlier in the moment here. The fact that they were resting on a kickoff, simply play it safe, do not gamble, do not make a mistake here, and frankly, they let that door wide open. You know what, I don't do predictions very often. I have to back Azteca going into that lower sort of final the way we've seen here. I don't know if you agree on that. 20R, were they convincing? No, but champions are about winning. And I certainly know how to put 4 wins on the board here when it really did matter.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if you win by domination. It doesn't matter if you win a tense game. At the end of the day, you're the one who's closed out the series, and that's exactly what 20R have done. But for Continuum in all cases, Oh, as first we'll get through our MVP in Killer. That can't be right. 1,000 points throughout the series is your MVP.
Well, there was only 5 games.
True. That's still less than 200 a game though. That just seems a bit off. Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, there is a possibility where the full stats wasn't carried over, but either way of it, that's according to the statistics of the MVP. I personally don't listen to numbers outright, so Beepin will give you the honours. Who was the MVP?
Well, honestly, I wouldn't really give it to any sort of specific person. Overall, I'd say there wasn't really any standout. It just seemed to be that 20R knew what they were doing more than Momentum did. It just seemed like they figured out that it was an upper final much earlier. They ended it much earlier, and each player was equally responsible in just chipping away at them bit by bit until they just sent them down to lowers. In what I'm going to agree with you, I will back Azteca in.
Well, that will be the lower final, Continuum versus Azteca, but there is a brief bit of an announcement as well. Huge thank you, of course, to Shattered, who has broadcasted up to this point. However, you might be wondering, what's going on here? This is a bit unusual. There will be a streamer being swapped in and out. So hopefully it shouldn't be impacting anybody. You might, however, want to refresh. Big Tibbs is coming in to see the rest of it, but as well, there will be a talent swap. Who's remaining, who's going? Well, there's only one way to find out. Of course, that's to stay tuned to see who and what will win the lower final.
I've learned from my mistakes, and I'm trying to make it better. But I'm only human. Some days it's hard to move on, so I keep fighting every day. I don't blame myself for my mistakes. I'm only human. Switch. I've learned from my mistakes, and I'm trying to make it better. But I'm only human. Some days it's hard to move on. I'm only human. Switch.
Life can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I whip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a scotch bunny. Don't try studying me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
Say what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.